Yo, 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 hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2025 Cognizant Classic, formerly known as the Honda Classic. Everyone knows it as the Honda Classic, but we must be cognizant of the name change. There you go, you have it. That's the dad joke of tonight. Welcome on in. In this strategy video, I will be covering all the things you need to know on how to target the optimal lineup this week. That includes going over the golf course and tournament information, going over the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. I will do a review of last week's event, the Mexico Open, just to show you how well the SweetSpot process did. And then we're going to get into the bucket system as well as the Marquee Tee Times for the Cognizant Classic, because those are really the bread and butter of the SweetSpot process. It helps narrow down our player pools and target certain golfers to make it easier for us to hit the optimal lineup, basically. Don't mind me. Okay, so that's what I'll be covering. I do have timestamps in the description below, so if you're one of those that comes into this video after it's been live, so you're watching on replay and you see that it's like 2 hours long, 3 hours long, 4 hours long, there are timestamps down below to help you out. So go check those out. More power to you if you do, more power to you if you don't. It's all, I mean, I'm just going to do a lot of information overload, and then I'm going to be building lineups at the end. So if you want to see how some of these lineups are built and how the bucket system, the SweetSpot process all works together to build some of these lineups, feel free to stick around. So yeah, with that being said, let's go over a few. I have to do this every single video. I know people kind of hate it because it takes up so much time, but there are giveaways to be given. There's a $5 weekly giveaway. Obviously that happens every week. And then the last month that I am going to do the $100 giveaway, we hit the goal. Can you see it all the way over there to the left? We are at 806 out of 800 subscribers. So the goal was to hit 800 subscribers and we hit it. Now, here's the thing. That has to remain over 800 until next month. I mean, it's got to be the Tuesday, March 4th. So it's not too far away. It's like, what, like 9 days away? Something like that. 7 days away? 7, duh, because this is Tuesday. 7 days away. So as long as we're still over that 800 subscriber mark, I will give away $100. And if you want in on the giveaway, what you need to do, you got to be subscribed to the channel and you got to participate on the channel. Whether that's watching this video on replay and leaving comments in the YouTube comment section, or if you're here live, I will also do roll calls at every 1 hour mark. So if you're here live and I say, hey, roll call 1, here's the first roll call, and I give you a phrase or give you something to write in the chat, that is how you can gain an entry. And you can gain multiple entries, but it only takes one entry to win the giveaway. So don't be discouraged if you think there's a lot of people getting different entries. It just takes one. So again, here in the live chat, hello Joanne, hello AJ. Once the 1 hour mark comes along, when I ask for roll call, that's how you gain entry. You can also gain an entry when after this goes live. So after it's been published into YouTube, just leave a comment down below. It doesn't matter if you're already part of the live roll call. It doesn't matter if you're here live. You can always go back into the video, comment down below. It helps the YouTube algorithm out, helps me out. So in return, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do a giveaway for you guys. So why don't we just go ahead and do the giveaway right away? We had 30 total entries. 30. That's pretty good. That's a good turnout. Could obviously be more. We can see there were some YouTube comments that were left. I had 5 of them, and then the other 25 came from roll calls. So I'm gonna hit the drum roll and we're gonna see who wins $5 for the weekly giveaway. If you win, contact me. Unless I already have your information. There's the contact information you can contact me at. If I've already, given you money in the past, then obviously I don't need your contact information. But if you're new, or if I need a reminder, you're gonna have to contact me. I can't reach out to you because YouTube doesn't give me your guys' contact information. So you have to contact me. Anyways, here we go. Drum roll, please. Philip Hall, congrats, man. Look at that. One entry. He had one entry and it was during roll call number 1. Philip, I don't think I've ever sent money to you, so contact me at sweetspotdfs@gmail.com. Let me know that you were the weekly giveaway winner. So that was our weekly giveaway. Those entries all go into here. And quite frankly, next month is when I'll be doing the monthly giveaway. So you have 1 week left to get entries into this giveaway. Just throwing that out there. It's worth $100. I'll throw that back up on the screen. $100. It's the last time I'm doing it. We're moving into YouTube, or we're moving into SweetSpot DFS memberships after this. So $100. Easy money. Just leave a comment. Okay. Another giveaway that's happening is the $1,000 giveaway. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm going to give away $1,000. And for you to get an entry into this one, that doesn't require you to participate, despite, you know, being subscribed to the channel. It requires you to go to SweetSpotDFS.com and create an account. It doesn't cost you any money. You can go create a free account. And with that, it doesn't even ask you for credit card information. So you don't have to worry. I'm not going to spam you with emails, nothing. Just go create an account. Super easy, super simple. And once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will take the emails that come with the account creation. I'll put them all in a list like you see right here, or the previous giveaway that I just did. And that's how I'm going to do the giveaways. I have a lifetime membership to give away. I have a one annual membership and 2 $100 cash giveaways. So I am technically still doing $100 cash giveaways, but that is once we reach 1,000 subscribers. So that is there for you. And then some quick reminders about what, you know, it's free to you. If I go to the website, SweetSpotDFS.com, you can find a link for this in the description. If you go under fantasy tools and you go to the cheat sheet and you go to the optimizer, if you just drill down on both of those things, there is a cheat sheet available to you once this loads. I have 2 of them. One is on a report style like this. This is the new way and it's still being updated. I know I've said that for a while, but it's not a priority of mine. And then the old cheat sheet is right here. So if you click this button, it'll bring you to the Google Sheets that I will be covering in this video. And I need to change this from POA to Bermuda. So this is available to you, and you can follow along with me when I go throughout this video. Again, go to SweetSpotDFS.com. Hit the fantasy tools drop down and find the cheat sheet that way. What also is available to you is the optimizer. If you want to use the same optimizer that I will be using in this video, and I'll bring the optimizer up and show you guys. This is what it looks like. And I will be creating lineups with this later in the video. So if you want access to this, go to SweetSpotDFS.com. Again, click the fantasy tools drop down, drill down on optimizer, and then put your email in right here and request now. I get an email that I visually have to see to then send you the optimizer. So if it takes a little while, it's because I am not able to get to my email and I'm not able to send you one, but I will as soon as possible. So if you want the optimizer, go to SweetSpotDFS.com and request it there. So those are the only other giveaways that I have there to provide you. Do I have any other housekeeping items? Don't think so. If anything, I will probably leave them towards the end of the video. That way we can get right into this and start out with the course and tournament information. Always a shameless plug. Go to SweetSpotDFS.com. I have the tournament fact sheets is where I like to start out with these course and tournament information segments. Drill down on that, and it will bring you to the gcsaa.org, where you can go into the tournament fact sheets and find the Cognizant Classic. So I'll zoom in for you guys. I like to go here because it gives us our data points. These are good pieces of information to use, especially when researching the golfers we want to play. So obviously you get the tournament title, you get the golf course that is being used, PGA National. It goes back for as long as I have my data. I don't exactly remember when they started playing at the PGA National Golf Course, the champion course, but for any relevant piece of data, you guys can use that, or you can use that golf course. It's a par 71. It used to be a par 70. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. If you watch Bryson DeChambeau with his Break 50 videos, it doesn't matter what the par is. The winning score is going to always be the lowest score. I don't care if it's a par 70 or 71. However, you guys can check, or I should say, you could use this piece of information for your data research. Who plays better on par 71s? Who plays better on par 70s? You don't have to. I mean, if there was a weight that I put in there, if I had 100 weights, I'd probably put 1 or 2. That's how insignificant that really matters. But of course, you can always use it. Stimp is 12. That's fairly fast. I mean, it's more in the middle, I should say. Like Augusta would be 13. That'd be really fast. And then, man, I can't remember the slowest greens on tour, but the slowest ones are going to be around like 10.5 to 11. So 12 is kind of in that medium range, a little bit fast. Greens, Bermuda grass, that's what's really important here, because the rest is technically an overseed. And I don't know, I haven't really heard a lot of videos talk about there being an overseed. Half of the golf shots these golfers are going to hit, most of the time, not always, will be on the greens. So it does matter. I use Bermuda grass. If you go to the cheat sheet, which I'll bring up on the screen right now, I do use Bermuda stats in the spreadsheet and also in my model. So I would advise you guys to do the same. As for the rest, if you have access to a ryegrass overseed with a Bermuda base layer, I think that's fine. I don't know what percentage is Bermuda, what percentage is overseed. A lot of times, if a superintendent is telling you it's still overseed, that means it's 100% overseed. It would be weird and interesting because this is a PGA Tour event. PGA Tour events are always going to have the most pristine conditions on the golf course. So they're not going to have a mix of overseed with base layer. When the base layer starts coming through, it's not at its full thickness. It makes the golf course look weird. I think if you were to, actually, if you wanted to take a look at that, look at the Valspar a couple years ago, either 2 or 3 years ago, and you'd see just the spotty like patches of rough and stuff. It looks bad, like when the overseed's coming through. Some courses do that, so I guess I could be wrong if there isn't a mix. I don't think there is, but there could be. Green size is a little bit on the large side. Actually, I think that's closer to in the middle. 5,000 or 3,500 is like Pebble Beach small. This would be on the high side. Never mind. So big greens, if you want to use that. Big one here is the number of holes water is in play. Yeah, double bogey or worse is a real score that can happen on this golf course to many golfers. I think I heard something earlier, I don't remember from who, but this has the most double bogeys per round on tour, something like that. Double bogeys or worse. So be prepared for that. It's going to be, the popular word in the DFS industry this week is volatility. Yeah, you're probably going to get a lot of volatility this week. You guys can read the rest that's on here. If you want to check more of it, again, go to SweetSpotDFS.com. You'll find the tournament fact sheets there, or you can just type in gcsaa.org and find your tournament fact sheets there. As for the rest of the course and tournament information, I do a bit of a breakdown to figure out, Do fades or draws matter at this golf course? It's pretty even. You know, hole 18 is probably the most recognizable hole, one of the most recognizable holes on this golf course, because it ends on a par 5 and it is a very big risk and reward golf course, or golf hole. If you remember, I think it was like 2022 or 2021. Let me see. Let me double check. This year right here, 2020, where Sungjae Im won it. Tommy Fleetwood needed to make birdie in order to get into a playoff with Sungjae Im. He was actually really trying to get eagle, and he had a shot from the fairway that he was trying to reach the green into. The pin is tucked in the back right, or actually the front right of the golf course. Or Jesus Christ, the words are so difficult right now for whatever reason. The pin is tucked in the front right of the green. Issue with that is it's on a peninsula. The green is on a peninsula, and there's water in front, there's water to the right, and there's water behind. So the preferred shot shape to hit into that hole, and I think I have that here, is a fade. Professional golfers can hit whatever shot they want, but what professional golfers tend to do is stick to one shot shape because it's more repeatable, and there are less variables that you have to worry about in the golf swing. Because it's not like you can just change your grip. It's not like you can, I mean, you change your grip, that's one, and you kind of change your swing path. That's the second thing you would do to change the flight of your golf ball. Well, if you constantly keep doing that back and forth, it's hard to be consistent. Or if you're doing one shot shape for most of the round, once you get to the last hole and it forces you to hit a shot shape, say if like Tommy Fleetwood, he hits draws most of the time. If you get to the final hole and you're forced to hit a fade, yeah, some of those pros can hit fades like on command, but then contact isn't always 100%. And that's what happened to Tommy Fleetwood. He hit it in the water and ended up making bogey, and that is why he finished third that year instead of first or second. So again, those things matter when it comes down to the wire. But what doesn't really matter, and like this is one thing I always forget to mention, if you had Tommy Fleetwood that week, and in fact, I'm just going to go straight to it. I'm going to show you this later on. But if you had Tommy Fleetwood that week, he was still in the optimal lineup. He was also still in the GPP winning lineup. And he was also in the SweetSpot optimal. So like, yeah, he hit the water and that sucks. And for everything I'm saying to you right now, like, oh, you want to find a golfer who hits a fade on a second shot on hole 18. That is one hole out of 18 holes. And in fact, that's only 4 holes out of 72 that matters. The other 68 holes, I mean, yeah, there are some other fades I have here, but just highlighting that hole doesn't necessarily matter. But I mean, I guess if you're looking at outrights or anything like that, potentially it will. And I'm just offering you guys that information in case you want to do something with it. You certainly can. But if I were to use like, you know, 0 out of 100 weights, how many would I put towards shot shape? I'd say 1 or 2. And when it comes down to me liking certain golfers, is that enough for me to fully invest in one golfer versus another? No, probably not. But I could use it as a tiebreaker, honestly. So if you want to see what that looks like, I mean, you can go to the cheat sheet. I have in column P shot shape. I don't have it for everybody. Some of these golfers are new or, to be quite real with you, insignificant. So I don't have a lot of the shot shapes for some of these golfers because at one point in time, I just didn't think they were going to be worth a damn, to put it bluntly. So anyways, I will eventually get back to looking at shot shapes and really paying attention to some of these golfers. Like Pendrith hits a fade, McCarthy hits a draw, Minwoo hits a fade. So I know this off the top of my head because I watch a lot of golf. And I also have videos on a lot of these golfers saved, which I will apply to the website at some point in time. Not anytime soon. We'll figure it out, but at some point in time. So that's the golf course. That's probably a deeper dive than I cared to do when it comes to the golf course, and that's fine. That is a-okay. When it comes to the tournament, just giving you some general tournament information, the cut is top 65 in ties. There are 144 golfers in the field. We have more sunlight, so therefore our field sizes are growing. We had 132 last week, and now we have 144 this week, which is wonderful. Getting a 6-6 through the cut is just going to be difficult as it is because it's a really difficult golf course. But the more golfers we have, the more challenging it is to get 6-6 through the cut. And I really don't have a one size fits all in trying to find 6 golfers that make the cut. Personally, I don't care because I'm trying to target the optimal. I'm trying to hit the perfect lineup in order to hit the GPP. And finding made cut percentages, like high made cut percentage for some of these golfers, it might help you cash, like min cash in a lot of your contests, but it's not going to help you win a GPP. You're going to have to put some odd golfers in your lineup, and we'll talk about that later. Your strength of field this week is 324. Now that's pretty much double than what it was last week at the Mexico Open. Just, giving you some insight there. It was 394 in 2024, and in 2023 it was 148. So it's, despite this kind of being a weaker field than, say the Genesis that we saw 2 weeks ago, it's still pretty good. 324 is decent. In 2022 we had 224. So it's been constantly climbing. And yeah, 324 is pretty solid. So, what do we do with that information? Well, you can use it as a data point for researching which golfers do well, and I guess we'd call this mediocre or medium strength of field versus like a weak strength of field, which was last week. So you can use that. You could also use score to par, because score to par on this golf course is relatively high. High as in bad. It was 17 under last year, but the conditions were really were fairly easy. It was soft. This is also they changed the par from 70 to 71. So some people will be like, well, that's technically 13 under in these previous years, which, yeah, you could certainly use that. But yeah, you're gonna find, you know what? I bet you on average going forward, you are going to find the winning score being somewhere between 14 under to 18 under. I think that's just the new norm. So, but again, there's going to be a lot of water balls. There's going to be a lot of chaos at this golf course. It looks, from the early onsets of wind and stuff like that, like weather, it's pretty benign. Like Thursday, Friday, I don't think wind gets over 9 miles an hour. So that obviously could change. This is Tuesday night, so obviously check your weather Wednesday. But I'm not going to worry too much on that. If you guys want to, if you do request the optimizer, I do have an AM, PM. You can determine how many golfers you want from each. Like, I always put a max of 5 on AM. I think the PM AM waves always have an advantage. Personally, it really depends on the golfer's personality, but personally for me, I've heard this from many golfers, you rather have the late early. That way you kind of stay in rhythm of how you're golfing. And I mean, I will get those splits out to you eventually. It'll be part of the website. You'll be able to look from AM, PM splits and just figure it out from there. But yeah. And that's all I have for you when it comes to the course and tournament information. I don't see any new messages in chat, so we're just going to skip right through to the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. And of course, I like to come to the SweetSpotDFS.com website, or the SweetSpotDFS website. I do have a couple fantasy tools that I like to use for this segment: past salary builds and past optimals. When you drill under the fantasy tools drop down, go to either of those pages. Here are the salary builds here, and then I will also be talking about the past optimal and GPP winners. What's crazy is this had a brand change. It was the Honda Classic, and it switched from that to the Cognizant Classic, I found out last night that I didn't have any optimal lineups in the website or on the website for the Honda or the Cognizant, because my data, what I had, what I used to scrape, the tools I used to scrape the data, it was looking for the Honda Classic, or it was looking for the Cognizant Classic when I had everything under the Honda Classic. So I had to quickly get it all together last night, which just a delay in building other tools, but here we are. We have the information. When it comes to the Cognizant, I already have that preloaded into this tool. And what this tells us, just from a zoomed out level, so I'm just selecting the tournament. I have no other filters on here. This whole page you can use as filters. You can filter out by the salary builds. You can filter out by, how many, what you want for golfer one, a 10K golfer or a 9K golfer. You can use so many filters just on this page. But without any filters, except for the tournament being the Cognizant Classic, we can get a zoomed out level as to what salary builds matter at this tournament. You're going to find out, or you're going to hear a lot. I mean, I've already heard it. Oh, this is the week you leave a lot of money on the table because this golf course is so volatile. This tournament is so volatile. You do not want to play a 10K golfer. It's just fool's gold. This is the perfect time, to leave $1,000 on the table, $2,000 on the table, whatever. Where's the proof, huh? Where's the proof? Honestly, where's the proof? Nobody in this industry has a tool like this that can showcase the proof. Like, I kid you not. So, for instance, I just click on GPP winner. I track GPP winners for as long as I can. And it looks like I can go all the way back to 2020. I don't have the 2019 or 2018 GPP winner in there. That's not, this shouldn't show because in my database, I have it there for eventually when I'm going to have it, like when I get that information. But just skip out on 2019 and 2018, focus on 2020 and up. So there's 5 years of data. So what does this tell us? Your GPP winner, and these are the most of the time it's the $5, and I'll show you. I keep track of it on this page. So in 2020, I had the $1 short game. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm lying. This is the $5. This is the drive the green. So I keep track of that for 2020. In 2021, I only did the $1 contest. In 2022, I did the drive the green, the $5 contest. In 2020, or that was 2022. 2023, I did the $5. 2024, I did the $5. So in 2021 is the only time that I didn't play the drive the green contest. So again, I record this data, so I eventually was going to use to put into a website, and here we have it. No one left more than $300 on the table to take down a GPP. And 2021 was the $1 short game. That's the GPP I have in here. Otherwise, in 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024, it is all the $5 drive the green. Nobody left more than $300 on the table. That's enough data. I mean, this is enough for us to normalize data, because this is what we do when it comes to websites, data websites, especially with golf data. 3 years is enough of normalization. We would want more than that, like 4 or 5 years, and I have 5 years, so it's perfect. In those 5 years, 3 years start with a 10K golfer, 2 start with a 9K golfer. So just throwing that out there. And your most common salary build is a 10, 9, 7, 7, 7, 6 for your GPP winners. There's another lineup that's very similar, and you just sub out a 6K and you put in a 7K. And then the other 2 start with 9Ks. Look at this one. 9, 9, 9, 7, 7, 7. The other one's 9, 9, 9, 7, 7, 6. So that's something to keep in mind. Like if you're going to build lineups, it might be the week to either start with 3 9K golfers or actually tap into the 10K golfers up there. I will say this though. Here's the wonderful thing about the other tool I have. So when it comes to the Cognizant, okay, well, how many 10K golfers were there? You know, every single year. Here's what you can do. You come here, make sure the Cognizant Classic is in the tournaments. You click on 10K. And then you scroll down here and it shows you all of the 10K golfers and their finishes at the Cognizant Classic, the Honda Classic, whatever you want to call it. You can see what the tournament names were right here. And so in 2024, we had 5 10K golfers. This week in 2025, the 2025 Cognizant only has 2 10K golfers. This is a lot. You have to keep this in mind because this is a game of numbers. So in 2024, we had 5. One of them finished inside the top 10, and one finished inside the top 10, the DraftKings top 10. So that was Cameron Young, by the way. In 2024, we had 2 golfers. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm looking at 2023. I should have looked at 2023. In 2023, we only had 2 10K golfers. Shane Lowry, Sung J M. They both made the cut. Shane finished 5th. In 2022, we had 5 10K golfers. 2 missed the cut. 3 made the cut. 1 finished 4th, and the other one finished 16th. In 2021, we had 4 10K golfers. 1 finished 8th, 1 finished 13th, 25th, and a missed cut. We come down here to 2020. The numbers that I have up here aren't going to include this because I don't have DraftKings points for them. In 2020, I mean, I do have DraftKings points for them, but I don't have it for the complete field. So I can determine what is a DraftKings, or what is the optimal, what is the GPP winner, and what's the sweet spot optimal. But Tommy Fleetwood was your highest price guy. He finished 3rd. Woodland was 10-3. He finished 8th. Then you had 2 missed cuts, and so you had 4 total 10K golfers. In 2019, we have 5 10K golfers. Of the 5, 2 missed the cut, 3 finished inside the top 10, with 2 of them finishing in 2nd place, tied for 2nd. And then in 2018, you had 5 10K golfers as well. 2 finished inside the top 10. 1 won the tournament. Actually, I should say 2 finished inside the top 3. And then there was 1 miscut. So one thing to glean from all this information is look at the golfers, look at the caliber of those golfers. JT in 2018 was a stud. Won the turn. Actually, I shouldn't even say 2018. I'd say 2019 was a better year for him, but 2018 he was still pretty good. Alex Noren was decent as well. Obviously, these price tags being in the 10K range just means these are the better golfers in the event. DraftKings has determined that, and they use algorithms to figure out price tags. It has a lot to do with their odds, has a lot to do with, you know, course information or course history and recent form. So it takes all that stuff into account. Ricky Fowler in 2019 was not bad. I think that's also when he won the Players Championship. So he was playing some good golf. Brooks Koepka, you know, obviously a stud. 2020 Tommy Fleetwood was good. So too was Gary Woodland. And I guess what I'm trying to mention is you guys can come to the website and take a look. Look at all the 10K golfers, compare them against each other, and then look at this week's field. So actually, I do have another tool that I call the strokes gain stats. And what I like to use this tool for is this box up here has the field loaded in for this week's tournament. So this is for the Cognizant, the golfers here. So your 2 10K golfers are Russell Henley and Shane Lowry. Well, one thing you can do is if you were to look at the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups, and we take a look at a lot of these 10K golfers, what year even matches that year, or this year, I should say. What of these historical years match this current year? And it would be 2023, Shane Lowry and Sung J M. I mean, that's who you have. You have Shane Lowry and Russell Henley, not Sung J, but Sung J is $9,800. But these are the two, they're very similar comps. So Shane Lowry is one of them again. And in that year, yet again, in this year, there were only 2 10K golfers, and Shane Lowry finished 5th. He was a top 10, DraftKings top 10 play, a top 20 play. He was not in the optimal lineup, but he was in the GPP winning lineup, and he was also in the Sweet Spot optimal. That's what these fields right here indicate. So when we look at that, basically I'm just showing you that information because, again, as I'm watching and listening to other people talk about this week, they're telling you to leave a lot of money on the table. They're telling you not to play a 10K golfer. This is the week you start playing 9K golfers, and it's not like it's untrue. You certainly can. You know, 40% of GPP winning lineups had 3 9K golfers in them, dating back to 2020. But 60% started with a 10K and a 9K and skipped the 8K range and went straight to the 7s. So you can do a lot, whatever you want. If you want to drill down and try to figure more about the Sweet Spot optimal, I'll do that after I click on the optimal. I want you to see what the optimal lineups look like. So one of the first things I kind of like to do is sort by salary used. So it shows you how much money was left on the table for most of these optimal lineups. So in 2023, you left $4,300 on the table. In 2021, you left $3,400 on the table. Last year, you left $2,300 on the table. And then it gets closer to $50,000. In 2022, you left $700. Then you left $300, both in 2018 and 2020. And in 2019, you only left $100. So, you know, the optimal lineup, 2023 is kind of the year that I want to target because that is the year that's most similar to this year when it comes to what the field looks like and the salaries that we have from DraftKings. Very similar. Actually, that's not true. That is not true at all. It was in 2023 where we had the lowest strength of field, 148. It was tiny. And that's where Chris Kirk won at $9,900, by the way, $9,900. I don't know what we have filtered. Okay. Yeah. 2 10K golfers. Okay. And then the Sweet Spot optimal, when looking at the Sweet Spot optimal, this gives you a better idea. It's really targeting lineups that use 49,600 and beat the GPP winning lineup. If I don't have a lineup that has 49.6 in it, it means I had to choose, or I had to find the closest one was like 49.5 in 2019. Which is interesting. I did this last night. I don't remember any of them being 49.5. I'll have to double check that one. 2019. Let's take a look. Maybe I put that in the wrong. It should be 49.6. Okay. That's a data error, I should say. Unless I'll figure that out. We'll change that. So it's, but 49.6 and above. Either way, 49.5 is what I had originally. That was the original Sweet Spot optimal, but I found one that was closer and it scored more points. So 49.6 is the lowest salary used. And yeah, what we can do, if you wanted to double check this. So if I went to 2019 and I look at, I don't have the GPP. Okay. 2020, I have the GPP winning lineup here. Oh my God. Oh boy, I cleared out all of the tournaments. That's why I had so many in there. Cognizant Classic. There we go. I don't have points for it. All right, we'll go to 2021. There we go. 541. I go to more filters. I select Sweet Spot optimal and then I deselect that. 557. So it outscored the GPP by what? 16 points. In 2020 or in 2022, it scored 512. I deselect that and then do this. It scored 502. So it outscored it by 10 points. So you guys can do this on SweetSpotDFS.com. You can double check. if the SweetSpot Optimal beats the GPP winning lineup. And then obviously you can check the salaries and you can fact check me all you want. I'm very confident in my data and in my information. 565.5 in 2023 versus 607. So, like I said, SweetSpot Optimal beats the GPP, and it uses as close to $50,000 of the salary as you possibly can. And in all of these lineups, it uses a 10K golfer. In fact, in all but one lineup, it uses a 10-9 start. In all but two lineups, it starts with a 10-9-8 start. So there are several ways you can build. There are several ways you can build your lineups, starting with a 10K golfer, just so you guys know. And again, you can check this out at SweetSpotDFS.com. Historic salary builds and pass optimal and GPP winners. So really, it comes down to, what do you guys feel comfortable doing? You guys feel comfortable playing a 10K golfer this week, or are you going to start in the 9K range? I don't think leaving a lot of money on the table is that wise. I bet you anything that your GPP winning lineup this week won't leave more than $400 on the table. And I think that's also what you guys should do as well. So that's your pass optimal and GPP winning lineup segment. What's going on, Ryan? Nice to see you. AJ Love says, I was checking my prize picks for NBA. I've got 5 out of 6. Man, that sucks. I hate when that happens. 7 times this week. I'm so close to being rich. All right. We're going to go into a review of the Mexico Open. First thing that I like to do with these reviews, I like to go to the summary page that I have. This basically just tells us how many buckets were successful. And if you are unfamiliar with my bucket system, stay around. I will cover the bucket system for the Cognizant and I'll explain all about it. But basically, I have projections for each of my buckets, and you can see all the buckets over here. All the buckets are over in this column. So for last year one, the projections that I had were 1.47 to 2.45, but I like to round down with the minimum and I round up with the maximum. So that's 1 to 3 is what I told you wanted to play from this bucket. And we had 2 inside the top 10. 1 was in the optimal lineup. So because one of these numbers was inside the projection, that means it was a success. So when I scroll down, I see 3 buckets that were unsuccessful. The first one that was unsuccessful were the course history 6 golfers, and the projection that I had is 1 out of 3. I'm fine with that. I don't think I'd ever play more than 3, but 4 were inside the top 10 and 4 were in the optimal lineup. The other bucket was recent form 4. That's terrible recent form. It's not the worst recent form, but it's pretty darn close. That projection was 1 to 3. 6 were inside the top 10, 4 were in the optimal lineup, 3 were in the SweetSpot Optimal. And then the other one were the 6K range. We had 4, the projection was 0 to 2. We had 4 inside the top 10, 3 were in the optimal lineup, but only 1 was in the SweetSpot Optimal. So 33 out of 36 buckets were correct. This is actually the lowest hit rate that we've had the whole entire season. So that's still good. 33 out of 36 buckets were correct. That's still pretty good. Now, for me, it comes down to, did the SweetSpot Optimal beat the GPP winning lineup? And that's literally all that matters. And what the SweetSpot Optimal is, I keep all of the conditionals. So if I were to bring up my optimizer, all of these conditionals right here match what I have for the bucket system. So this is for the Cognizant. This is not for the Mexico Open, but I did create something like this for the Mexico Open, and it followed along suit with the projections that you can find in the bucket system. And oh, by the way, this is available to you on the cheat sheet. Again, go to the website, click the Fantasy Tools drop down, and you'll see the cheat sheet there. I have the exact same bucket system that I will be using for myself on my sheet I have that for each and every one of you on the cheat sheet. So you can take a look. You can take a look on the cheat sheet what the bucket system is. So anyways, Mexico Open is what we're looking at. 33 out of 36 were correct, like I said. And then when I go to the comparison of the SweetSpot Optimal versus the GPP winning lineup, the SweetSpot Optimal left $400 on the table. The GPP winning lineup left $100 on the table. And the golfers here highlighted in green indicate your SweetSpot Optimal. And then the golfers that are highlighted in blue are your GPP winners from the Drive the Green contest. That lineup scored 650.5 points. The SweetSpot Optimal scored 681, so it beat it by 31 points. So when I reviewed the summary page to show you that 33 out of 36 buckets were wrong, the projections were not correct. You can see this year's totals. I had 2 from the course history 6 bucket, and the projection was 1 to 3. I had 3 from the recent form bucket, and the projection was 1 to 3. And then I had 1 6K golfer, high 6K golfer, and the projection was 0 to 2. So again, when I built that lineup following the SweetSpot rules, I found a lineup that scored more points than the GPP winning lineup. It scored 31 more points. Now the optimal lineup scored 725.5. It blew every lineup out of the water. It also left $4,100 on the table. And this is your perfect lineup from last week. So what else goes into the SweetSpot process every single week? Well, the Marquee Tee Times. So basically what I tell each and every one of you is you want to find 2 to 4 golfers, 2 to 4 from the Marquee Tee Times. There are 27 total golfers. There are 9 total groups because they play in threesomes. So when I say pick 2 to 4 golfers, I want you to choose from this selection of golfers. And the big rule is you do not pair golfers up in the same group. So again, there are 9 groups of 3 golfers. And I'll highlight them on the screen. And if you can follow along with the colors that are on here already, the black tick marks indicate an optimal lineup. So Aaron Rai was in the optimal lineup. So too was Ben Griffin. Those are the only 2 golfers from the optimal lineup that are in the Marquee Tee Times. But what did I just say? 2 to 4. I say this every single week, right? Right, chat? I say this every single week. Find 2 to 4 golfers. And I'm not manipulating this data. I'm just showing you guys. One, I calculate the data. Everyone can tell you that data. If you follow any of the other DFS content creators, they'll tell you what the optimal lineup is. I have the optimal lineup. It's no different than anyone else's optimal. Every week I talk about the Marquee Tee Times. That didn't change. Go check out my video from last week. I certainly didn't change any of this information. It is all 100% true and organic. There's no manipulation of the data, nothing. 2 to 4 golfers, Aaron Rai, Ben Griffin. Those are your optimal lineup golfers. But guess what? It's even better yet. Steven Yeager, Harry Hall, and Ben Griffin were in the GPP winning lineup. So there's 3 golfers. And then you can see with the green highlighted salaries, those are your SweetSpot optimal lineup golfers. And it's Yeager and Batia. There's 2. So again, this always follows suit. It's always correct. Always is a definitive term. I don't like definitives, and obviously that isn't true. It's not always correct, but it's like a 95% hit rate. So you can do with that whatever you want, however you want. Now, you do have to find the 2 golfers out of 27. That's a bit easier than trying to find 2 golfers out of 132 golfers. Obviously, that's not how we really pick our golfers. But the beautiful thing, and I'll mention this quick, it limits the bad plays you can choose from. Now, this first group had 3 golfers that played pretty well. Aaron Rai, Steven Yeager, and Jake Knapp. Rai was in the optimal lineup. He finished 4th. Yeager was in the GPP winning lineup. He finished 6th. He was also in the SweetSpot optimal. But again, I'm chasing the optimal lineup. So Aaron Rai was the only one from this group in the optimal lineup. Now, if you paired both of those guys up together, I bet you won money, especially if you had Aldrich Potgieter and as well as Brian Campbell. You had those 4 golfers in your lineup. I bet you made money, but you didn't win a GPP. Oh, I shouldn't even say that. Maybe you did. I don't know. You very well could have, but it wasn't the $5 drive the green contest. So again, I like to follow this to the letter because I want to give myself the best opportunity to win a GPP. And then down here as well, you had Norlander, who I really liked, Henrik Norlander, and this grayed out salary was because Ben Griffin had played 7 weeks prior to that. I wasn't going to play Ben Griffin. Silly me. He was in the optimal lineup. But yeah, I really liked Henrik Norlander. So, I mean, you could have went that route. He was $6,800. So those were your Marquee Tee Times for the Mexico Open, and we'll be talking about the Marquee Tee Times for the Cognizant as well. And I suppose that's all I have when it comes to a review. SweetSpot process, again, built a lineup that was better than the GPP winning lineup. Unfortunately, I didn't have Brian Campbell in most of my lineups. And I do, during the members only video Wednesday night, I do believe I created a couple lineups with Brian Campbell in it. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I went to look him up. I'm like, oh yeah, nah, he's like 30 some years old. He's a loser. That he wins. Stupid me. Stupid me. All right. Nothing in the chat. That is totally fine. I usually like to wait until we get to building lineups. But I forgot to mention, if we get to 25 likes, I will give out 5 free memberships. 5 free YouTube memberships if we get to 25 likes. I only have 9 people in the chat, which is, it is what it is. I just want to double check that I even, yeah, I did post it. Okay. I mean, it's the Cognizant. Nobody really cares, right? Okay. Let's move on to the bucket system for the Cognizant Classic. And then we'll get into the Marquee Tee Times, and then we'll start building lineups. All right. What I like to do is just save time and get right into the anchor buckets when it comes to the bucket system. Now, this, again, is available to you guys on the cheat sheet, and you can access that through SweetSpotDFS.com. Hit the drop down fantasy tools. So it'll say fantasy tools. I know you can't really see it here. Fantasy tools right there. Hit the drop down and sorry, distracted. Hit the drop down and it'll get you to the cheat sheet, and the cheat sheet looks like this. Actually, I do have the cheat sheet up right here. You go to the cheat sheet, scroll down until you find this one. And this one has the Google Sheets you can go to, and you can follow along with me when it comes to the bucket system. There is a tab on the bottom of the cheat sheet that you can click that says bucket system. It looks exactly like this one. So what I do to find the anchor buckets, I guess before I get there, if for whatever reason you weren't with me during the review of the Mexico Open, the projections that you have here, last year 1, 0 to 2. Your minimum is 0, your maximum is 2 for the last year 1 bucket. That means you want to find 0 to 2 golfers from the last year 1 bucket. And that applies for all of the buckets going down. Now, I like to save time and just look at the buckets that we want at least 1 golfer from. So how to do that is I hit the greater than or equal to condition, and I enter the value 2. So that removes a bunch of buckets. There's 36 total buckets. And I would say we can do some more trimming. So this leaves us with 12 buckets. Now, the other thing I like to do is go look at the minimums, or sometimes I like to go all the way over here to these projections. Just realize my filter doesn't even go all the way over there. Now it does. So I like to look at some of these projections over here, because if any of these are less than If they're really close to less than 2, I like to filter out of those. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to filter out 2.17 and below from this projection over here. And the reason why that is, those are so close. Honestly, those are so close to being less than 1 for the minimum projection that I feel much more comfortable just trimming them out, because there still is a possibility that zero golfers from those buckets will finish inside the top 10. And then the only other thing I want to do is take the bucket totals here and really trim it down even further from this. But oh my God, I can't really. This is insane. So just for some context, you see the buckets that are still on the screen. Last year 5, last year 6, last week 6, course history 3, recent form 3. Those 2 buckets are fine. Salary 4, like the 7K range, I don't care for. And then the strokes gain buckets, I also don't necessarily care to anchor around them. I just let the the optimizer just do its work. Here's the issue. Last week 5s, those are guys, or last year 5s, those are golfers who missed the cut at the Cognizant Classic last year. It's not a very high success rate, so it's not for all the golfers that are in that bucket. 7, and this goes all the way back to 2020. This goes all the way back to 2015. Of all the golfers who've missed the cut the year before, 7% reach the top 10. But nearly every year that I've tracked this, 90% of the time, at least one golfer has finished inside the top 10 from this bucket. Let's just take a look at the golfers from the last year 5 bucket. I don't even know if it's such a weird bucket to select. Golfers who missed the cut the year before. Hey, if you have any Daniel Berger love, here you go. This is for you. Daniel Berger is at the top of this bucket. And this is what I like about the bucket system. And this is why I've kind of, you know, dedicated my craft to following the bucket system almost exclusively. I mean, I haven't wavered from it one bit. One of the beautiful things about the bucket system is it pretty much tries to convince you that playing a golfer who missed the cut at an event last year is an okay play, or actually is a targeted play you want to do this year. And I mean, like, if we take a look at these golfers, Daniel Berger, Sung J M, Taylor Pendrith. Is Daniel Berger really $9,900? I feel like that's a typo in my data. That can't be right, is it? Nope, it's right. Okay. I just verified with DraftKings. $9,900. Okay. But we have Ben Griffin. I mean, Alex Smalley's here. Gary Woodland. A lot of people. Like, there's enough golfers here. I already know one guy from this bucket will finish inside the top 10. I already know one golfer from this bucket's going to finish inside the top 10 just by highlighting these 9 golfers. I already know one golfer is going to finish inside the top 10. I've repeated myself several times to drill it into your head. So yeah, this anchor bucket, shoot, it's the first time that I think this year I've said last year 5s. Last year 5s. We want at least 1, but no more than 3. So don't play more than 3 golfers. And really, the optimizer can just do this work for you, because that's what I have right here. 1 to 3. I also have 1 to 4 last year 6s. So golfers who did not play last year, which is the next bucket to select from, that has a 100% frequency rate, meaning like every year a golfer from this bucket finishes inside the top 10 at least once. Again, the success rate isn't very high, 7.81%. Again, that's all golfers from this bucket dating back to like 2015 finish inside the top 10. And on average, there are about 58 golfers in this bucket. This year, there's 59. So it's right on par. Now, we take a look at some of these golfers. What do we see? Jordan Spieth, Kurt Kitayama. I just like to make names up. Kurt Kitayama, Patrick Rogers, who's on event number 8 in a row. I don't see how that's gonna play out well. And again, these are golfers who didn't play last year. Spieth has 0 course history from my data, the data that I've captured. I don't think this is a golf course he typically plays. We have JJ Spawn, Luke Clanton. Obviously, everyone's going to be rooting for him if he makes the cut. He gets his tour card, and he is a very good golfer. He goes to the Florida State University. We are in Florida. I imagine he's played this golf course before. I like his chances. I think he's a solid play. But yeah, then you get like a lot of veteran golfers here mixed in with some of the young studs. I think this is fine. Notably, Ryan Gerard is 4th in my model, by the way. That's nuts. I don't even understand why he's 4th. Like I've kind of tried looking as to the why. Last week he was 17th at the Mexico Open, which is pretty decent. His recent form is good. DraftKings scoring is okay. His scoring average is pretty good over the last 7 weeks. Ball striking is in the positives with putting. That's always good. His DraftKings average over the last years is solid. It's probably the top, probably tops in the field. 83.80. That's pretty high. I mean, he's positive off the tee, positive approach, and positive putting for the last year. A full year's worth of data. That's 20 rounds that I have recorded. And he's positive among like all of them. That's why. I mean, his DK average, he is the top. He has the best DraftKings points per event. He also has the best scoring average in the field. And the best mark of rounds under 70%. And cut made percentage. He leads the field in all of those stats, and that's why he's 4th in my model. Oh boy, that just seems, and I know he's being touted up all over the place, so that's just a recipe for disaster. But he is in the bucket that I just highlighted. Of course, or last year's 6s did not plays from the year before. Okay. Seamus Power, by the way, I was watching him on a couple videos or people bringing him up. I do think he's a sneaky play. I don't like when Seamus plays consecutive weeks because I know he has a bad back. And if he plays too much, that back will flare up, and not a golfer you want to play when the back is flaring up. But yeah, there's a lot of good names here, by the way. If this gets you on Jordan Spieth, bless your heart. Like, that's fine. And I don't even mean to say that in a condescending way. It's just really difficult. The guy who sprays it all over off the tee, hard to consider him at PGA National, but he just might club down more than we think and keep the ball in play. And if that's the case, Jordan Spieth is actually a pretty damn good play. But my favorites from this bucket, Luke Clanton. I also like Johnny Vegas, Ryan Gerard, Seamus Power. There are some notable names like Kevin Roy shows up in the optimizer a lot. I was running it a couple times before jumping on this video, and he shows up a lot, which is just scary. I don't want Kevin Roy in my lineups because he's burned me in the past. Isaiah Salinda seems pretty decent, but by the way, Kevin Roy, 16th in the model. Ooh, man. I mean, this is the week to embrace volatility. The other bucket to look at are last week's 6s. So just clear out your filters. And by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I feel like I have. You can follow along with me on the cheat sheet and put in these filters just like I am. Last week's 6s, yeah, this is a bucket that's really easy to actually pick golfers from. And this is a projection of 3 to 6. So you want somewhere between 3 to 6 golfers. Russell Henley, Shane Lowry, Daniel Berger. I mean, this is the top of the DK salary board. All of them. Pretty much all of them. So yeah, I have 3 projected to finish inside the top 10. That seems pretty simple, right? almost is like a foregone conclusion. It's almost every golfer 8K and above on the DraftKings salary board. I don't even know who isn't on there. Trying to find like golfers that played. I'm looking. Actually, you know what? This is what we can do. Yeah, there you go. 8,600 and above. Nobody played last week. So yes, that is true. Pretty much most of the salary. I mean, what was it? 89 and up or 86 and up. All these golfers did not play last week, and this is the top of your salary board. So yeah, finding 3 golfers from here to finish the top 10, I think that's pretty simple. I like Henley, I like Lowry, I like Berger, I like Im. I don't care for Pendrith. I do like Straka. I have a soft spot for Denny McCarthy. Oh, by the way, if Denny McCarthy wins, I will give away a signed Denny McCarthy golf ball. So, oh yeah, you want to know what? If you want a signed Denny McCarthy golf ball, here's roll call number 1. Put in, 1, you got to be subscribed to the channel. But 2, put in the chat Denny McCarthy. And if you're watching this on replay, put in Denny McCarthy on replay in the comment section of YouTube. That's roll call number 1. Denny McCarthy or Denny McCarthy giveaway. I don't care. You put in whatever you want. THC means the Honda Classic. It does not mean a substance of any kind. Just so you know. Phil Lauer, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. Let's see. What did you guys say in the chat? You were playing some PGA 2K25? I've been playing that game too. I actually have a very interesting video I'm going to create using the course designer tool to highlight the what's the word I'm looking for? The nuances of strokes gain data, because I think some people just don't understand what goes into strokes gain data, and I'm here to exploit that information. You're going Im then? Phil Lauer says. Burgers in my lineup. Let's go. Add pickles and mustard and ketchup. Denny does Dallas. We're not in the right tournament, man. You can't be saying that stuff. Gosh. Aaron. All right. Anybody else that comes in the chat, if you are behind, if you're hearing this message and you haven't put in the chat what the rest of the guys have been putting in, make sure you hit the little live button to make sure you're caught up. And that way you won't miss a thing. All right, going back. Yeah, 3 out of 6 from this bucket's pretty simple to get to. Pretty darn simple. I'm not going to go over every golfer. Max Grazerman, by the way, might be my favorite play this week. I think he's probably going to be a model darling in most. And I just saw Chad Eckert put in that he grew up on this golf course. I didn't even know that, to be quite honest with you. My model does not incorporate that. So the fact that he's number 2 in my model and everything just kind of points to like he's I mean 22% top 10 rate on Bermuda tracks is pretty darn good. If you believe in like the ownership gods or something like that, and you think Max Grazerman's going to be a bad play because everyone else is going to play him, you do you, boo. You do you. All right, course history 3 and recent form 3. That's easy to remember. Let's take a look at those. And the projection here is 2 to 4. 2 to 4 golfers from this bucket. Danny Berger, Sung J M, Taylor Pendrith, Mitchell, Thompson. There's our boy Max Grazerman. Griffin, Rogers, Eckroat, Novak, Lucas Glover. And I'm not going to name everyone else, but 2 to 4. Well, I'm sold on Max Grazerman already, but pairing him up with any of these 3 golfers up here, if you can, if it allows you to. Oh, you can't with Danny Berger. Max Grazerman and Berger are in the same Marquee Tee Time. Can't play them together. Got to choose one of the two, which just means one of them is going to finish inside the top 10. There, I gave you an answer to the test. Simple enough. Start with one of those guys, build the rest of your lineup out. Something like that. Okay. That's I don't really, the rest of the course history 3 golfers are in the 6K range, and I'm not going to focus on any of those 6K golfers. We'll let the optimizer do its work when it comes to building lineups. As for the next one, it's recent form 3s, and we want 2 to 5. Holy crap, 2 to 5. 2 to 5. Lowry, Berger, Thompson, and Grazerman. Look at that. So you know how I always say, like, or actually, you may not have ever heard me say this. If you see golfers in the Marquee Tee Time, or no, I'm sorry, jeez, in the anchor buckets, it does not guarantee they're going to finish inside the top 10. But it does increase their chances. So Berger and Grazerman are in the last week 6 anchor bucket. They're in the course history 3 anchor bucket, and they're also in the recent form 3 anchor bucket. Daniel Berger is the only one that's in the last year 5 anchor bucket. Throwing that out there. And oh, by the way, Danny Berger is in all of the anchor buckets, because if I come down here, strokes gained 3 is an anchor bucket. He has all anchor buckets. He's going to be a very popular play. And I mean, hey, optimal lineup does not care about ownership. Does not care about ownership. Ownership has nothing to do with a player's performance. Just throwing that out there. So yeah, Danny Berger, don't mind that. I kind of have affinity towards Max Grazerman. And we can't play both of them in a lineup together because they're in the same Marquee Tee Time. You can if you want. If you want to be a mold breaker, go for it. Go for it. That's fine. But dang, that is interesting. A good bucket, by the way. Lots of interesting golfers to play. So again, I'm gonna let the bucket system do, or the optimizer do its thing. Notables down here: Seamus Power. I like that. Eric Cole, who you know, a couple years ago played pretty well at this golf course. Harry Hall, Johnny Vegas, and Billy Horschel. Notable names, in my opinion, to consider this week. All right. I am not going to talk about salary 4s, and we can kind of go through the strokes gained pretty fast. So basically, if you're following along with me, just select everything. Make sure there's no filters anywhere, and then just sort strokes gain. And so you can see that they're color coded. So the first one we're looking at is strokes gain 2, and it starts with Sung Jae Im. So I can get all of them on the same page right here. You got Sung Jae, Penrith, Minwoo. There's our boy Grazerman. So he's also in another anchor bucket. The only anchor bucket he wasn't in are the last year buckets. So he was in last year 3. That is not an anchor bucket, but he also is in 4 of the 5. Yeah, 4 of the 5 anchor buckets that we talked about. Rogers, Clanton. It's hard for me not to play. Oh, he's with Grazerman. Oh, no. What a freaking lineup. We're going to get to the Marquee Tee Times pretty soon. Or what a group. So it's Clanton, Grazerman, and Berger in a group together. That sucks. That's like 3 golfers I want to play. I mean, I guess I'll probably have 100% ownership throughout all my lineups with one of those golfers, which is fine. I think that's perfect. I'd be hard pressed to not think one of those guys won't finish inside the top 10. Like if you're doing a top 10 bet this week, why don't you just put money on those 3 golfers to, you know, I have no idea what the payouts are, but if you can double, triple, quadruple your money, it would just be those 3 golfers. Just put money on those 3 golfers to win back your money, or not so much win back your money, to make a profit. If that's even a thing. I have no idea. I don't have access to sites that allow me to bet. So Taylor Moore, Beau Hauser, Ryan Gerard. I love Ryan Gerard this week. He's fourth in my model, like I said, $7,300 and fourth. So again, this bucket is a 1 to 3 projected bucket. So you want to find 1 to 3 golfers that just works out well. You know, like, because I can't put Clanton and Grazerman together. So it's like, I want to select one of those guys, but then who do you pair him up with? I like Minwoo way more than most people do this week. But if there's a time to get back to Sungjae, I guess I don't have an issue with that. And I also like Clanton. Oh, I already said I can't do Clanton. I think if I was making one lineup, I'm probably putting Gerard in there with Minwoo or Sungjae, and then I'm mixing those guys up with Grazerman or Clanton. Like that would be my 3. Those would be my 3 golfers that I'd play this week. But you also have a lot of other good golfers down here. Like I'm never going to. That bucket is crazy. That is a crazy bucket of good golfers. Okay. I'm going to skip on down to the next one. I don't want to keep spending time on that. This bucket is a 1 to 4 projection. Starts with Shane Lowry. We get Danny Berger in there. So again, he's in all the strokes game buckets. I like Straka. I like Mitchell. I like Ben. Actually, hold on. Timeout. Let's just look at this right now. I'm going to do this right now. Danny Berger. Minwoo Lee. Grazerman. It's going to be either Grazerman or Luke Clanton. And then it's down here, Ryan Gerard. What kind of lineup can I make? I'm kind of skipping ahead and I'm building a lineup without asking. It breaks. Okay, so can't do Danny Berger. I might not even be able to do these 3 golfers together. 10. That's a pretty sexy lineup. That's a very sexy lineup. Henley, Minwoo Lee, Grazerman, Hall, Gerard, Hubbard. Can I put, instead of Grazerman, can I put Clanton, who's considerably cheaper? And oh, by the way, a lot of the optimal and GPP winning lineups skipped the AK range. You can't. So which golfer, what am I doing? I think it's the last week 6 bucket. No, last week 6, I can have up to 6 golfers. I wonder why. Is it Minwoo? Oh, I'm stupid. You can't do Berger, Clanton, or Grazerman together. You can't put 2 of those guys together. Why? What got me so excited? Like I literally looked at Daniel Berger and was like, nope, I'm going to put this lineup together. I can't do that. That's why it's breaking. Just so you guys are, if you guys don't already know, that's why it breaks. All right, we're going to get back to that. But that one lineup I had on the screen, that was a sexy lineup. That deserves music, which I'll play later. This bucket, right, by the way, 1 to 4 is the projection. I like Lowry. I like Berger. I like Mitchell. I like Straka. Benny Hen, it's hard to get there because he's played so terribly. I will take a chance on Cam Young and Jordan Spieth, by the way. A lot of people are just loving Kurt Kitayama. I don't have an issue with it, but, you know, like some people get turned off by ownership. Like when ownership's high. I'm not one of those, but all of the, what do I want to call it? People who are kind of drooling over the fact that, ooh, Kurt Kitayama is a cheaper price tag than he was last week. And this is actually a golf course he's played well at. Like there's been a lot of conversation that people want to go to Kurt Kitayama and they think people aren't going to play him. I don't care if people play him or not. I personally don't want to play him. I will have some of him because I build over 100 lineups, so there will always be exposure to golfers like him, but he's not going to be like an anchor play for me. I like Woodland, I like Vegas, I like Bud Colley. I don't mind going back to Norgard. Have no issue with that whatsoever. And Chris Ventura, which is probably the value play of the week. Not grading out very well in the model, but hey, at $6,900, no issue playing them. So yeah, those are your anchor buckets for the week. We will get into the Marquee Tee Times. I'm going to check out the chat first. I saw a couple messages come in. Wheels Up, are you still in the chat? Let me know. What is the one DFS golf trope that you wish you didn't do, but is so appetizing that you find yourself hard not to repeat it every week? It's a good question. The one golf trope. I mean, I don't know if this is a trope, but we are all superstitious. Like if you just, I think most humans are superstitious, but like if you put yourself, if you are in the golf realm, whether you are an avid golfer, like whether you play golf or you watch golf, or even when you're doing this, the thing that I wish I didn't do is have a superstition or superstitious feeling towards a lot of things, honestly. Like, I don't like putting price tags together. I just don't see it that often when it comes to optimal lineups. But the fact of the matter is, I don't look at top 10 by salary. You know, like I do, it groups the salaries together. So the 7K range is just anyone between 7,000 and 7,900. I couldn't tell you how many $7,300 golfers were in last week's optimal or last week's top 10. I couldn't tell you how many $7,300 golfers were in the Sony Open inside the top 10. I couldn't tell you any of those. So my superstition about having two $7,300 golfers together, I don't know why it happens, but most people here in the chat, when I'm building lineups, I'm just like, I don't want to put those guys together. Pricing is a construct. Like, it's not like it's that big of a deal. We have to keep our salaries under $50,000, but for me, I think and then also just not having, I try my best to not care what happened last week. I blacklist golfers. See Jason Day, for example. Like, I actually blacklisted Jason Day for a long time, and then I just like, you know what? Maybe this week is a good time to play him. And I think it's because a lot of people weren't talking about him, and that was during the week that he won the Valero Texas Open or the Charles Schwab Challenge. And that's when I won a GPP playing Jason Day. So I don't know. You gotta be quick to forgive and quick to forget, or something to that effect. I also believe for someone who is dedicated and loyal to the sweet science as you are, 9 likes on a video is not enough. Come on, people. Well, here's the thing. If we get to 25 likes, I'm giving out 5 memberships. Oh, Jim Lemoyne, what's going on, man? So again, I'm giving out 5 memberships at the end of the month, so I'd like to give them out. We got to get up to 25 likes though. So, and it's going to be hard when there's only 9. I only see 9 viewers in the chat, so that is okay. If we get there, we get there. If we don't, it is what it is. Ooh, 11 viewers. Okay. Now we're going to get into the Marquee Tee Times. Let me hit that transition. You can follow along with me on the cheat sheet. Again, you can access that by SweetSpotDFS.com. Hit the drop down menu under Fantasy Tools, and you will find the cheat sheet there. I have the Marquee Tee Times. Let me zoom out so we can see all of them. The Marquee Tee Times were founded by accident, and it really isn't so much accident. I always have looked at the top groups. I am a competitive golfer. I know it matters when you are playing with the right golfers, whether they enhance your ability or they take away from your ability. For example, if you're playing with a guy who's playing really good golf, you might feel like I got to keep up with this guy, and you might focus more. You might take your time on certain shots. You might really, I mean, the correct word is just focus. You focus more when you play with good golfers. If you play with bad golfers that throw their golf clubs and they break their golf clubs, they lose their temper, depending on who they are to you, like if there's someone you care about, it's hard not to. It's like the human condition. It's hard not to be concerned with your playing partner. And that negativity will seep into your game. Now, if it's someone you don't like and they're throwing a temper tantrum, oh boy, I mean, I guess it depends on your personality. For me, I find it absolutely joyous. It's just like, good. I'm glad that you are having an off day. You are an asshole. I don't like you. You deserve this. Like kind of to that effect. But fact of the matter is, playing with, I mean, so the Marquee Tee Times, just themselves alone, this is a Thursday, Friday matchup, basically. The three golfers in each of these Marquee Tee Times is a Thursday, Friday matchup. They most likely won't play together Saturday, and they most likely won't play together Sunday. But what I have done is track this all the way back to the 2020 PGA Championship. And I've always looked at the top groups. And every single week, what I've noticed is very rarely do two or more golfers, two or three, I guess there's only three, but very rarely do two or three golfers finish inside the top 10 together from a group, a pairing. And so I've tracked it week after week, year after year, and we are sitting, and I don't have like a database to show you this. I can't show you it by numbers or anything like that. But obviously, if you're with me every single week, you know I go over this. I just reviewed the Mexico Open and showed you that in the Mexico Open, there were two golfers from the Marquee Tee Times in the optimal lineup. There were three golfers in the GPP winning lineup, and there were two golfers in the SweetSpot optimal that were all in the Marquee Tee Times, and they didn't play together. So that was the Mexico Open. I just reviewed that in this video. But if you go to last week's video and you look at the review of that tournament, again, you didn't find anyone paired up together. You go on further back, keep going, keep going, keep going. There are moments and times that it does happen, but it's like less than, I want to say like less than 7%, less than 6% that you're going to find golfers paired up together. So think about that. Just take that into account here. If 90% of the time, let's just use 90%, be a conservative number. If 90% of the time, golfers from these Marquee Tee Times, you know, that are paired up together do not finish inside the top 10 together, why would you build lineups that have golfers from the same pairing? Do you just want to be like contrarian and choose the 10% of the time, or just think, hey, this is one of those weeks that it's never gonna, or it's going to happen, where, you know, Sepp Straka and Cam Young together are gonna finish inside the top 10. It's rarely, I don't know. You do you. I'm not saying there's a definitive way to go about this, but what I'm trying to say is, if I've tracked this dating back to 2020, and I can tell you, like, I can take this to the grave. I could put this on my mom's grave. I can put this on anyone's grave, because I know it's true. It's 90% of the time, at least 90% of the time, we don't have golfers from the same Marquee Tee Time in the optimal. Very rarely do you see in the GPP winning lineup, and you absolutely don't see in the SweetSpot optimal, which always beats the GPP winning lineup. Always is a strong word. 99% of the time it beats the GPP winning lineup, because there have been times that the GPP is so good that I can't build a SweetSpot optimal that beats it. And sometimes the GPP winning lineup is the optimal lineup. So that also happens. So that's all I'm providing you guys. Percentages. I'm trying to help you avoid making bad plays. That's essentially what the whole SweetSpot process does, and the Marquee Tee Times is just the cherry on top of all of it. So Here are your groups for the Marquee Tee Times. You have Sepp Straka, Cam Young, and Billy Horschel in Group 1. Group 2 is Shane Lowry, Minwoo Lee, and Gary Woodland. That's a really good group, and I could see a golfer from that group finishing inside the top 10. The next one's one of my favorites. Daniel Berger, Max Grazerman, and Luke Clanton. Like, obviously, I just talked about those golfers in the anchor buckets. Very difficult that all three of them are playing together because I want to play all of them together. I mean, look at this, the price tags that they have. 9, 8, and 7. It's so juicy. The next group is really interesting. Henley, Spieth, and Fowler. Henley's number 1 in the model. He's playing with Jordan Spieth, who is coming back from injury and is a very finicky player, and Ricky Fowler, who just has been a dying breed on tour. Not even a breed. He's just a golfer that has not I don't know what to call Ricky Fowler. I wouldn't say he's $7,600. It's a perfect price tag for him. It's like, he used to be good, but now he's not. That's Ricky Fowler. He used to be good, and now he's not. Sung J.M., Austin Eckroat, Chris Kirk. Those are previous Honda Classic champions, Cognizant Classic. Haven't really seen much from Chris Kirk. Haven't really seen much from any three of those golfers. Sung J.M., he's been in a couple anchor buckets, and he's a very enticing play. Next group is Glover, Harmon, and Echevarria. I don't mind any three of those golfers. Harmon actually rounds up some good lineups. I was building lineups before jumping on here, and Harmon makes some of these lineups look really good. I don't like watching him play golf, but this is one of those weeks where if I had blacklisted him before, I'm okay playing. Next is Ben Griffin, Nikolai Højgaard, and Eric Cole. Eric Cole finally took a He finally took a break from golf. He did not play last week. Actually, let me double check. I just instantly doubt came over my mind. Eric Cole. Yeah, he did not play last week. There we go. Did not play the Mexico, but he had played the previous 6 weeks prior to the Mexico. That can't be said for Ben Griffin, who's also in that group. He is on week 8 in a row. So be cognizant of that. Benny Ann, Davis Thompson, Brian Campbell, who is last week's winner. They're also in a group together. I probably just don't play Brian Campbell, but the rest of the Benny Ann or Davis Thompson are fine. And then Denny McCarthy, Sam Ryder, Patrick Fishburne. I don't mind those golfers either. Patrick Fishburne, by the way, I don't know what to say about Fishburne. He was the glue to many of my lineups last week. I had a lot of good, like, if I had a Potgieter lineup with like Akshay Bhatia, because those I had a couple lineups with Akshay and Aldrich in there, and then I also had other Akshay lineups that were pretty decent that had Fishburne. Fishburne blew up. Like, he just self-detonated in the final round. I have no idea what happened, but not only could he not hit an iron shot into the green, he couldn't hit a chip shot, and he couldn't make a putt. Like, it was awful. It was awful to watch. It's like the guy, and he's chomping on his gum that he's chewing on. He's chomping on it like a freaking cow. It's like, how can you be so so confident in your play? Like, it's not bothering you. Like, he's just chewing gum like he's like a Giga Chad. Like, whatever, dude. I can't whatever. This is one of those things that Wheels Up was talking, or I was talking about with Wheels Up. My recency bias with Patrick Fishburne is I want nothing to do with him. Nothing. Because he just looked like an asshole playing last week, and I just can't get there. Like, it's very difficult to feel comfortable playing Fishburne, but I know I have to. I know I have to put him in a couple lineups, but those lineups, like, if Fishburne shows up in, like, say Jordan Spieth lineup, I'm gonna be fine with that. Because I'm like, well, that's one loser paired up with another loser. I don't really think Spieth is a loser, but it's just like he hasn't been playing very well. I don't trust him this week. Yeah, put him with Fishburne because I also don't trust him this week. And that's how you can shoot your lineups. You can shoot your lineups dead. So like, I don't know. We'll see. But those are your Marquee Tee Times. So, like I do every single week, we're gonna do roll call number 2 a bit early. So pick 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times to build lineups around, and this is going to be roll call number 2. So we are going to be building lineups after this, and if you want an entry into the giveaway, find 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times you see right here, and we'll build lineups around them. I'll pump up the music because I have been playing it this entire time. Wheels up. Let's see. Agreed. Superstition is human nature. So weak field with prospects, 9K studs or balanced DFS. I love that 8K most hate it. Going with Ryan Gerard and Max and starting there. Ooh. Yeah. See, I like that too. What's going on, Mr. Johnson? Dads everywhere. Appreciate that pun. You're welcome. I was going to lead with that. I did say it early on in the video, but I was going to lead with, I suppose I did, didn't I? I said, let's all be cognizant that this used to be called the Honda Classic. Ooh, I have some optimizer requests. Okay. While you guys check that out, I'm going to look at the optimizer requests and send them. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. By the way, just to repeat this, because if you're just coming into the channel, if I get to 25 likes, I'm giving away 5 YouTube memberships. And every Wednesday night, I have a members only live stream that I do. Every Wednesday night, I do a live stream, and it is just for YouTube members. It covers everything that I've learned throughout the week. You know, basically just the Wednesday. And obviously I do a lot of theory crafting. I do a lot of lineup building. And I bring it all together Wednesday night. I actually build out my lineups Wednesday. You guys can watch me on stream do it. You ask me questions if you want. What I won't be doing is building lineups for you guys during those videos. All right, Byron, I like to do things in order. So, but if we do have a high demand for lineup builds, I can put you towards the bottom. 30 likes and Byron will give 5 more. If Byron gives 5 more, I'll gift 5 on top of his. But of course, we gotta get to 30 likes. Oh, okay. I like some of these lineup builds that you guys put in the chat. Well, let's go ahead and add those. Do roll call number 2. Shot like, nice to see you on the burner. AJ wants the changes to Henley, Grazerman, Gerard. Okay. I mean, that's a sexy combo right there. Alrighty. Let's get some lineups built. So let me go ahead and take a look at what I need to pin. Hey man, I kind of like the Minwoo. You sure you want to not actually that looks fine. By the way, for those that requested the optimizer, you're not going to have Daniel Berger as a 50-point boost. I put this in my optimizer because his metric was 958, and I just know with it being that low, he's going to be forgotten in the optimizer because everyone around him is about 10 or well, 1,000 or more with the metric. So I just wanted to boost him up to make the optimizer think about picking him. So we have Henley, Grazerman. Interested in both. Okay. Let me build you 5 with Grazerman and Gerard, or with Gerard, and then I'll do 5 with Minwoo. Where are you, Gerard? There you go. I need to switch all these to 100%. Actually, I'm going to switch all of them all the way down to the 6K range to 100%. There we go. And on your ready, actually, I think we're already ready. Ready? Here we go. Timers on the, actually, hold on. Let me switch to this. Timestamps show up because I forgot to turn it off. Here we go. 3 minutes. You get 3 minutes. First lineup actually includes Minwoo. Look at that. You son of a bee. That's a perfect lineup. Do we have to build any more lineups? Huh? Do we have to build any more? This is your one lineup, dude. I don't even need to build you any more lineups. You wanted Minwoo Lee, you get Minwoo Lee. It's another good lineup. Seabez, we get the $260 or $275 golfers. There's my superstition kick in and going ick. Novak. Wow. And that's, dude, these are some solid lineups. Henley, Grazerman, Kitayama. So we get some Kitayama love in there. Man, we're hitting all of the... This is great. Henley, Grazerman, Griffin. So you're gonna play a little bit of the fatigued Ben Griffin. He don't care. He likes it. We're just gonna match it up with Patrick Rogers. Lots of Harry Hall, by the way, which I don't hate at this golf course. Ooh, Echeverria. Be careful with water with Echeverria. He's pretty aggressive. Cam Young, hey, I don't mind Cam Young. I'm gonna kick out Harry Hall, by the way. That's a lot of Harry Hall. 62%. Make the optimizer make different decisions. Adam Svensson. There you go. You get your Minwoo back. Grazerman, Gerard. I don't hate that lineup. That's a really good lineup. Henley, Mitchell, Grazerman, Vegas, Gerard, and Patrick Fishburne. We were just talking about Fishburne. Sure. Got to put him in there. With Mitchell, by the way, you know what? I'm going to give it one of these. I like that lineup. It was good. Oh, yeah. Henley, Grazerman, Griffin, Vegas, Gerard, and the Knapper. I don't mind that. I'm going to also kick out Johnny Vegas. It's a lot of Vegas. 63% of Vegas is too much Vegas. I can't go back to Matthew Pavon, but if you like that lineup, you can have it. I'm going to try to do you. Oh, yeah, this is a way better lineup. I much rather have Ben Coles than Matthew Pavon. The last lineup has Justin Lauer in the 6K range. If there's one thing I know, Lauer in the 6K range is a Lauer you can trust. Actually, that's not true, but I'm just going to make it up for this video. I do like Justin Lauer. Okay, those were some solid lineups, man. I think last week we built some pretty good lineups too. Pretty good, right?
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
think we do this one, right? Nathan Johnson, he wants Burger and the Eck Goat. Nathan Johnson, you ready? Let me know. On your go, we go. Philip Hall, you should check the beginning of this video. You might be interested in what transpired. Actually, you won the giveaway, so you have to reach out to me to get the $5. Nathan says go. Timer on the clock or timer on the screen, and we go. Danny Berger, Pendrith, Eckroat, Vegas, Hall, and Gerard. I'm just okay. We those three golfers. Who do you want kicked out of these three golfers? I don't know who should get the boot. Let's go with Vegas for now. You can tell me otherwise. Whatever you put in the chat, I'll kick him out. Ooh, Billy Ho, Danny Berger, Pendrith, Eckroat, Horschel, Gerard, and Kevin Roy. Don't hate it. Harry Hall. Okay. I will bring back Vegas. Where are we at? There's Harry. I'm just going to throw a set out there to be included in roll call. No need to build the lineup, though. Let's go with Harmon and Horschel. Okay, man, you got it. Berger, Pendrith, Eckroat, Novak, Gerard, and Kevin Roy. I'm going to do you a solid and kick out Kevin Roy. I just don't see it happening. Berger, Pendrith, Eckroat, Harmon, Vegas, Gerard. That's a solid lineup. That deserves one of these. I really like this lineup. It's a really good lineup. But we do have to kick someone out. And you know what? As much as I like Gerard, let's find some other lineups that don't have Gerard in it. Berger, Pendrith, Eckroat, Horschel, Hodges, Mac Hughes. Sure, why not? Oh, no, you can't. Lee Hodges withdrew. Just kidding. My bad. Where is Hodges? 7,400. We're gonna put his to 0. That's what you guys can do. I didn't update this for the guys that I just sent the optimizer to. Update that to 0 or just delete him from the whole thing. And then the optimizer probably won't pick him. You can lock him out, by the way. Tom Hoagie makes a spot in this lineup. Berger, Pendrith, Eckroat, Horschel, Vegas, Hoagie. I don't hate it. Mac Meisner, sure. Just gonna fly through some of these lineups. I'm probably gonna kick out Vegas. Yeah, Max McGreevy. Vegas gets the boot. Henley, Berger, Eckroat, Echevarria, Hughes, and Victor Perez. Victor Perez is a bomber, but if he doesn't have to use his length at this golf course, I think it's fine. I think he's fine. Davis Riley, by the way, I wouldn't say he fully got it back, but he was looking much better than previously. I know the time's up. I'll build you a couple more because we didn't really get through a lot. Berger, Straka, Eckroat, Glover, Taylor Moore, and Mac Hughes. You could do worse. Like, that's a good lineup. For the new people in the chat, if we reach 25 likes on the video, I will gift out 5 memberships. 5 YouTube memberships. You got to be subscribed to the channel, and you have to have your gift giving enabled or receiving gifts enabled. It is, if you click on the little money symbol, you will see the ability, I think the options like on the top left of that, of the box that appears. If you click the money symbol, you're not going to send me anything, so don't be afraid about that. You have to click a couple buttons before you can. This lineup is pretty solid too. And then I'll do one more. Berger, Penrith, Eckroat, Fowler, Taylor Moore, Echevarria. How about one more? Just want to see one more. No, not Matthew Pavon. Vince Whaley. I wonder if this is a good time to play Vince Whaley. Here, let's consult the website. This is SweetSpotDFS.com. You can take a look at Vince, not India, Vince Whaley. And I will have a filter on here that you can just filter out by Bermuda grass, because that's what I'd like to do. And I'd also like to filter out by strength of field just to take a look. But at 8 events here, he has averaged 0 off the tee, positive on approach, negative on putting. I don't like, it doesn't bother me if it was negative putting with positive off the tee and positive approach, because he's just putting himself in good positions and missing, you know, easier putts. But this doesn't really give me a lot of confidence. And like T36 is the best he's done here. Every year that he's played poorly, he's negative off the tee. Approach isn't super great. These stats down here are just a cumulative, so it's total, like throughout the entire event. It's not an average. This is just exact, like the raw totals. Yeah, we're gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on Vince Whaley. He used to be a cut maker, but I just don't trust him here. Let's do there we go, Mateo. That was a nice little surprise, having a little Montecero in our life. Just wanted to, did I build you more than 13? I thought I built you 13. I did build you 13. Okay. There you go, AJ. Good to see, man. Good to see. All right, moving on to the next one. That was lineups for Nathan, by the way. Byron, we're doing yours right away. And by the way, you remember the lineup that we created that we highlighted with the South African colors? Had Norgard not missed the cut, I think you could have won a GPP with that lineup. That lineup was hot fire. Like, I was looking at it after the tournament ended, because I use the optimizer to find what the sweet spot optimal was for the week, as well as the optimal lineup. And when I went to my lineups page, I saw that highlighted and I was like, oh my god, that's a really good lineup. I can't remember if it had Akshay in it, but you had a couple good players that were at the top of the leaderboard. Okay, so he's gonna go with Straka, which I like, and Henley. We're starting 10-9 and Glover. 10-9 into the 7s. By the way, if you didn't see this, you went to the past optimal, or the historic salary builds, I should say. And if we look at the GPP winner, you can see 10-9, 7-7-7-6, 10-9, 7-7-7-7 as 3 of the GPP winning lineups that happened for the Cognizant / Honda Classic. So Byron's starting that route. I think that's absolutely fine. 3 AM golfers, by the way, so this will be interesting. Well, let's do it again this week. Yes, let's do it again this week. All right, putting the timer on the screen, but saying hello to Mr. Waking Up. What's going on, man? Actually, let me go ahead and put your guys' names as the roll call. I need to put Philip in there and Jim Lemoyne. I don't remember, Philip, is it? Yeah. Alrighty, Henley, Straka, and Glover. We are open for business. Here we go, Byron. Henley, Straka, Glover, Vegas, Gerard, of course. Which golfers do you not like? Out of this, I'm already going to kick out Vegas. You can let me know if you want something else. Actually, no, let's kick out Mac Hughes. I didn't get to watch your podcast long enough to know if you liked Mac Hughes or not, so I kind of have a sneaky suspicion he's not a golfer you trust this week. But we do get a Safa in here. We get 4 7Ks. Glover, Bezzy, Gerard, and Kevin Roy. I'm going to bring back Bezzy. Actually, nah, I want to. I should actually kick out Gerard. That's fine. Vegas, Gerard, and another Safa. There you go. Yay. Let's kick out Gerard. I do like Gerard. Don't get me wrong, but I want to kick him out and bring back Bezzy, bring back EVR, and just see what other lineups we can build with those guys. Henley, Straka, Glover, Bezzy, Harry Hall, and Kevin Roy. I like Bezzy for Mr. Byron, but we're gonna kick out Kevin Roy. I think you like Roy, but we're gonna kick him out. You can tell me different. I have bets on all 6 of those guys with Bez and Gerard. There we go. Vegas, Hall, and EVR to go with these guys. EVR is gonna get the boot, but I'm also gonna kick out Vegas. That's a you know what? Let's see one more Vegas lineup before we kick him out. Eric Cole. There you go. Vegas is getting the boot though. We can't put that much trust in Johnny Vegas. This has been a good golf course for him in the past. Old Man Cooch with Hoagie. Talk about a lineup that has the most question marks possible. Spawn, Hoagie, and Kuchar. Hey man, we're gonna break the curse. I think we gotta find the cursed golfers. Jesper Svensson, sure. Got no issue there. But I'm out on Vegas. Yeah. No, we kicked him out. Spawn, Glover, Hall, and Victor Perez. We're gonna kick out JJ Spawn. I don't trust JJ Spawn. Max Grazerman, there we go. Mark Hubbard and Max McGreevy though. Nah. Nope. Maybe Grazerman will make his way back. Or in spirit of Byron, Greaserman. Moore, Hall, and Meisner. Okay. There's 4 7Ks. Or no, 3 7Ks and a 6. I love it. Mark Hubbard's fine. Don't hate that. Mateo Montecero with Seabez. Oh man, do we like Harry Hall that much? I mean, I don't mind Harry Hall this week, but that's a lot of Harry Hall. There we go. Grazerman, Glover, Lauer, and Henrik Norlander. 10-9-8-7-6-6. I love that. Is this 13 lineups for you? It is. Lucky number 13. Let me hit you with one more. Oof. Do you like this lineup, Byron? I'm kind of out on Hoffman, but I really like Ben Coles this week. All right. Got like Harden with Denny Minwoo. Putting 2 9K golfers right next to each other. That's bold. Bold, Cotton. See how it plays out. Bill Lauer asks, Norlander or Hoey this week, you guys think? If you had to choose one. Norlander for me. I've never spent enough time analyzing Rico Hoey. I just feel like he's untrustworthy. Like he just, for me, has this untrustworthy aura about him. But could just be me. Charlie Carden, if you're in the chat, let me know. If not, I'll continue building lineups. By the way, anybody new in the chat, once we reach 25 likes, I'm giving out 5 YouTube memberships. Just throwing that out there yet again. McCarthy, Minwoo, Grazerman, Glover. Okay, I didn't even have to boost him up. Johnny Vegas and Ryan Gerard, of course. Let's fucking go. We will probably be kicking out Vegas shortly. And then Gerard. Horschel, yeah, that's like another good one. And I honestly, I don't mind Mac Hughes this week. Harmon, Vegas, Gerard. Yeah, so now Vegas gets the boot. But this is a good lineup. Like the lineup that just was on the screen. McCarthy, Minwoo, and Grazerman. I love those guys together. Harmon, Vegas, Gerard. Really like Gerard, but it's a lot of Gerard being played. Eckroat, Gerard, and Roy with those 3. That's a lot of Grazerman. Are you comfortable with that, Jolly Carden? Do you want that much Grazerman? Ooh, Davey Boy Thompson. Look at this lineup. 998876. Just kind of had a thing with Vince Whaley. I don't want to play Vince Whaley. Gerard and Pavon. Okay. No. I don't want Pavon. Okay, there we go. We get McCarthy, Minwoo, Davis Thompson, Horschel, Bezzy, and Kevin Roy. I don't hate it. I also don't like Kevin Roy that much. You like the gray man? Is that pronounced Yak Basur? Yak Bass R? Appreciate you, dude. Thank you for showing up, and glad you found the channel last week. McCarthy, Minwoo, Davey Boy Thompson. No. Ooh. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to save that one. I'm going to bring Novak back, and I'm going to kick out Kevin Roy. I do not like Kevin Roy this week. 20% in the lineups we've built so far. I can't. Man, this is, if Wheels Up is still in the chat, this is one of those superstition things. I can't. It's not even so much a superstition. It's like, I do not like Kevin Roy because of Rainmakers and having a ton of his rookie cards and him just flaming out. He's a 30-year-old some guy who's been all over the place. McCarthy, Minwoo, Grazerman, Kitayama, Gerard, and Eric Cole. Yeah, sign me up. It's a great lineup. McCarthy, Minwoo, Grazerman, Novak, Chris Kirk, wow, and Ryan Gerard. Okay, one more Ryan Gerard one. I'm gonna kick him out. I'll build you a couple more to get to 13. Chuck Hoffman, yeah, I'm gonna kick out Gerard right now. I like his upside, but this is so much ownership. I don't want to just stick there. There we go. This is a good one to end on. McCarthy, actually, let me see. Do I have 13 for you? I do not. Not even close. Let's build you 4 more. Let's do it quick. You are. Wheels Up still in the chat. Yeah. That my dislike for Kevin Roy is trivial. And I shouldn't dislike Kevin Roy. But I just can't get there. Can't get there because of past traumas. McCarthy, Minwoo, Grazerman, Horschel, Spawn, and Chan Kim. All right. Not terrible. You liking all these lineups so far, Charlotte Carden? That's good. McCarthy, Minwoo, Cam Young, Grazerman, Harry Hall, and Emiliano Grillo. Boy, did Grillo look just awful with the putter in his hand. He has, you remember when Ernie Els like 9-putted hole 1? Like he got like a 13 on hole 1 at the Masters, and he's like, "Oh, I've got like snakes in my head or something." That's Emiliano Grillo. He had snakes in his head. McCarthy, Minwoo, Griffin, Horschel, Spawn, and CT Pan. I'm gonna kick out JJ Spawn, but that's not a terrible lineup. I think I got one more for you, right? McCarthy, though, this is a great lineup, and like Hoagie is enough to give you like volatility in the hopes to win a GPP. Like that's, You shouldn't trust it, but it's a solid lineup. Okay, going on to the next one. Hope you like those, Shy Carter. Danny Minwoo, let's see, where are we at now? Philip Hall. We got a different kind of lineup here. You must have watched the HBO series Succession. That would explain your Roy hatred. I haven't though. I honestly haven't seen an episode of Succession, which is probably sacrilegious, but I don't have time for TV. What is there a character named Roy in there, or is actual Kevin Roy the golfer in that show? Because then I probably would hate him, but you know, who knows? Maybe not. Straka, Spieth, and Højgaard. Straka, Spieth. By the way, those that call this guy Højgaard, I got a new sub that actually popped up. Jay Roberts 25. Thank you for subbing, man. Full Swing Season 3 is out. Main CEO name is Roy. The Roy family. Okay. I'll just go with it. We hate Roy. All right. Philip Hall, are you in the chat? If so, tell me when to go and we will go. Boy, have I had just a weird sleep schedule too, by the way. So this weekend I was up north hanging out with some friends from high school, believe it or not. Good friends. We've stayed good friends for a while. So we were in Duluth, Minnesota, and slept on an air mattress, which is, you know, not super convenient at this time in my life, but it is what it is. And drove back hungover, as you do when you hang out with friends from high school. And I took a nap in the middle of the day when I got home. Probably like 4 hours worth. Woke up, I'm like, oh man, I missed the whole golf tournament, the Mexico Open. I had to update all my stuff, but I was in like that weird hazy mood, or like just foggy feeling. And so I wasn't super productive or efficient, and stayed up to like 3 or 4 in the morning. Woke up for work, worked, fell asleep again for 4 hours again, woke up at like 9, had to do a lot of updating to the website and stuff, stayed up till 5 in the morning. So yeah, just weird stuff. I gotta get back on schedule. Philip says go. All right, fine. Jeez, let's try and tell a story, Philip. Here we go. Sungjae Im. Is that the first Sungjae lineup? It is. Sungjae, Straka, Spieth, Højgaard, Gerard, and Mac Hughes. I like it. I think like if there was ever a synergy to lineup building, putting Mac Hughes with Jordan Spieth is the way to go. They kind of are cut from the same cloth. Sungjae, Straka, Spieth, Bezzy, Højgaard, and Gerard. I would really like that lineup. You know what? You deserve one of these. It's a sexy lineup. Takes my breath away. Who do we kick? Probably have to kick out, let's do Bezzy for now. I'm going to kick out Gerard a little bit later because he's just going to show up in all of these lineups. All right, that's awesome. Jay Roberts, does that stand for Jake, John, Josh? Do you not want to say your first name? You don't have to, by the way. You do not have to. Pendrith, Straka, Grazerman, Spieth, Højgaard, and Pavon. Let's save one Pavon lineup. And saving one will kick him out. And go and build another one. Straka, Mitchell, Grazerman, Spieth, Højgaard, and McGravy. I don't hate it. We're not going to do Vince Whaley. Do not care about Vince Whaley. 17 likes. We need 8 more. 8 more, and I give away 5 free YouTube memberships. Straka, Mitchell, Spieth, Glover, Vegas, and Højgaard. All right. I actually really like that lineup. Let's kick out Vegas. I don't think we really built that many lineups with Vegas, or for your lineups that have Vegas in it, but just do it just to change it up. Højgaard and Harry Hall. We'll kick out Harry Hall. Really trying to force this optimizer to do some weird stuff. Just a big old bully. Novak. There we go. And then Kevin Roy. Come on, man. Come on. You know, Kevin Roy. Straka, Mitchell, Grazerman, Spieth, Højgaard, and Chuck the Siegel Hoffman. I think actually he's just kicked out. Hey, are the Roy family, which is the surname. Just think of a generational wealth family born again, similar to the McMahons or the Murdochs. Fair enough. Straka, Mitchell, Grazerman, Spieth, Højgaard, and Chuck Hoffman. Did we just do that lineup? Yes, we did. Chuck Hoffman didn't get kicked out. Chuck Hoffman.
You just made the list.
Straka, Spieth, Højgaard, Gerard, and EVR. Okay, yeah. Sign me up. These are solid lineups. We're gonna kick out Gerard though. A lot of Gerard. We don't need that much Gerard. Can't decide if I'm ready to give Mitchell another chance. Uh-oh, Cashmere. Well, Mitchell's here for you. Straka, Mitchell, Grazerman, Spieth, Højgaard, and the Assassin. Hey, by the way, the Assassin, pretty darn good last week. That's one of those moments, Wheels Up, where I've been playing so much Assassin that when he shows up on my like the week the optimizer absolutely loves him, I'm like, can't do it. Can't do it. That's no. He's been terrible. And then he goes out and finishes top 20. Really like this. Ben Coles. Like this group of golfers here to I know you have issues with Cashmere, but these placement or these 6K golfers that keep like rotating out, I think are fine. Ooh, and Matty Schmidt, sign me up. Hell yeah. Hodges WD'd, yeah. Did Hodges just show up? I don't think I had. Oh, you're gonna go with him? Sad. Yeah. Ooh, the mustache man, Chandler Phillips. I know the time's up, by the way. I think I'm just dedicated to build people 13 lineups tonight, and that's 13. Okay, look at that. The mustache man caps it off. All right, going on to the next one. Philip, I hope you liked those lineups. I liked a bunch of them. Jim, Harmon, and Horschel. You know what, Jim? I'm just gonna do 3 minutes of lineups with. If we don't get to 13, that's fine. But I like building a lot of lineups for people because it gives you just different ideas as to what you can do with your lineups. So we want Horschel and Harms. Okay. Here we go. Henley, Grazerman, Horschel, Harmon, Vegas, and Harry Hall. Yeah, Vegas is going to get the boot. Henley, Thompson, Horschel, Harmon, Hall, and Gerard. That's a solid lineup. That's a really good looking lineup. 10, 8, and then 4 7s. But I'm going to kick out Harry Hall. Like, I don't mind Harry Hall. It's just tonight he's been showing up in so many of these lineups. I'm not seeing a lot of diversity, and I want people to like see other golfers that can be put into these lineups. Pendrith, Thompson, Grazerman, Horschel, Harmon, Gerard. That's a solid lineup. But like I just said, we're going to kick out the most owned golfer, which is Ryan Gerard, number 4 in my model. Just throwing that out there. McCarthy, Mitchell, Grazerman, Horschel, Harmon, and Hughes. That is a very solid, balanced lineup. That's a really good balanced lineup. We got to kick out Mackenzie Hughes. Pendrith, Minwoo Lee, Grazerman, Billy Horschel, Brian Harmon, and Mac Meisner. Yeah, absolutely. Another solid lineup. Pendrith, Mitchell, Grazerman, Horschel, Harmon, Hoagie. We're going to kick out Mitchell, but these have been solid lineups. And that's another good solid lineup. Henley, Pendrith, Horschel, Spawn, Harmon, and Pavon. We're just going to say no. I just don't trust Pavon enough right now. Pendrith, Minwoo Lee, Grazerman, Horschel, Harmon, and Hubbard. Believe it or not, I trust Hubbard more than I do Pavon, which is probably crazy to say. Pendrith, Thompson, Grazerman, Horschel, Harmon, and the Knapper. Sure. I got no issue playing. I guess there might be some caution with Jake Knapp. He battled back injuries earlier this year. Back issues are usually a lingering injury, so you got to be careful about that. Pendrith, Grazerman, Kitayama, Horschel, Spawn, and Harmon. That's another good balanced lineup. Very, very good. Pendrith, Thompson, Grazerman, Horschel, Harmon, and Lauer. There we go. Get some Lauer power in there. CT Pan. There we go. Doug Gim. Haven't really heard or seen a lot of Doug Gim. Let's see. How many lineups did we get you? Let me build one more. Kuchar. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to delete that one. Now we pretty much got through a lot of them. Was that 12? Yeah, built you 12. I actually built you 13, technically. I didn't save that last one. All right. So that was for Jim Lemoyne. I'm going to go ahead and replace the last one. And in case... I do see my chat going, and I have the chat scrolled up. So I'm going to do that just because I didn't want to lose my spot. Hope Glover, sponsored by a glove. I actually think he plays without a glove most of the time, to be honest with you. AJ asked me how's Smalley rank in my model. Alex Smalley. Smalley's what, 7,800? 47th in the model, which isn't terrible. Anything less than 90 is fine, honestly, especially at this event. All right, so Lowry, Berger, and the Assassin. Oh my god. That's awesome. Lowry, Berger, and Hisatsune. I like that the broadcast was pretty much saying it like I've been saying it for forever. Hisatsune. Gotta remember how much he cost, though. Mr. Assassin, hello. Can't spell his name. You probably shouldn't play him. Hisatsune. Right? There you go. Let's bump him up 200 points. So I don't have to deal with that. All right. Let me read the chat quick, but Mr. Waking Up, if you're in the chat, tell me you're ready to go. Phil Lauer says, I'm seeing a lot of Straka Smalley popping up in my lineups. What optimizer are you using? Or when you build lineups, where do you go through? I can't decide if I'm going to give Mitchell another chance. I know I read that earlier, but it's funny to see it again. Justin, late to the stream and didn't see the buckets. Going to rewatch later. There we go. I'm leaning Vegas, expecting Hodges ownership to latch on Gerard and oh yeah. You think there's like a lot of ownership for Lee Hodges this week? There was going to be before he withdrew. Yeah, I do think a lot of people are going to be on Gerard, which is scary. It's like, I always say this, the optimal lineup does not care about ownership. Ownership does not affect a person, like the performance of a golfer. But yeah, it would have been sweet if like nobody, if the fantasy videos and all that stuff on YouTube and Twitter, Spotify, all those places weren't so good with their information. I think Gerard could be at least a low owned golfer this week, but he's probably going to venture up into like the 11 to 13%, I imagine, if not more. I think it's like one of those weeks where, I guess, never mind. I don't know. I just have a feeling it's one of those weeks that most people just don't know what to do this week. So they're going to latch on to comfort plays. And I think Ryan Gerard is a comfort play. We get into that growth this week. I am not. Philip says, did you all hear the lady on ESPN Plus talking about Hisatsune? How his old caddy would hand him water bottle and would take a drink? I know. I mentioned this, Philip, last week in the video last week. This is why I also didn't play Hisatsune, is because he's a mental midget. Like, anyone that has to do that, like take a sip of your drink before you hit any shot, you're insane. You're insane. Insane Hisatsune. Jim says those were decent. Yeah, there was a lot of good balanced lineups there. Then she was saying how that should be his logo. Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually. I said this last week, but Michael Kim is on fire. I would say see Michael Kim at the Black Desert Championship, where the lava rock that outlines the golf or the holes there, he found himself in those lava rocks. Now let's replace those with water. He can't find his golf ball when it's water involved. So I don't trust Michael Kim this week. I'm having a tough time picking between Woodland and Svensson. Woodland. I don't know what Svensson you're talking about. I'm guessing it's Adam. But if it's Jesper, you still choose Woodland. I'm sleeping on a bed of nails and razor's blades tonight so that I can feel comfortable making lineups tomorrow night. I mean, you have a newborn, so like, what kind of sleep are you actually getting? Yeah, you talked about how he drinks every shot. Yeah. Yep. Insane Sene. There we go. Insane Setsune. Oh, how would you do it? By the way, there's a funny Japanese YouTube channel that has two guys that talk about Japanese words. It's called Real Japan. Oh my god, hilarious, super funny. And what I just did there with the insensensensenda, like that's what ends up happening when you put a bunch of Japanese words together. Insane Satsune. There we go. We got it. Insane Satsune. That sounds very Japanese, doesn't it? Okay. Mr. Waking Up goes, let's fucking go. And he said that like 15 minutes ago. My bad, dude. My bad. Here we go. Timer. Wait. We got to get the obligatory before we start building these lineups. Lowry, Berger, Horschel, Glover, Lover, Gerard, and Hisatsune. I almost feel like obligated to hit the Hadouken every time I see Hisatsune's name, but since we locked him in, I can't do it. Lowry, Berger, Horschel, Spawn, Gerard, Hisatsune. Okay. Gerard, we're going to have to kick eventually. And it's going to be soon. It's going to be very soon. Rogers, Vegas. Okay. Hey, I don't mind some Patrick Rogers. Not a lot. Some's fine. Kitayama, Gerard, and Hughes. All right. One more Gerard lineup, and he's getting the boot. This is a good one to keep him for. I really like this lineup. You know what? We're gonna do this first, followed by this. I had to put that in there. Had to put it in there. Lowry, Berger, Eckroat, Hall, Gerard, Hisatsune. Oh my god, I had to do it. Had to do it. Lowry, Berger, Horschel, Bezzy. Oh yeah, we gotta kick Gerard out, but this is a fantastic lineup. You know what? This is gonna get one of these things. Oh, not that. I don't want that. We're doing this.
Hadouken! Hadouken!
Kick Gerard. All right. Yep, we're kicking Gerard. And if I'm blasting your guys' earballs with the sounds, my apologies. I had to. I just had to. I mean, Mr. Awaken Up, I'm doing just that. I'm waking everybody up with those sound effects. Lowry, Berger, Horschel, Taylor Moore, Hughes, and Rio. You know what I actually got to do with the soundboard is mute the music that's currently playing from YouTube. I should be able to do that, I think. Maybe. Lowry, Berger, Cam Young, Kevin Roy, Shank, Hisatsune. I haven't seen Adam Shank in forever. He has to have baby swag by now. I need Ryan Henson in the chat to confirm. Okay, I'm gonna kick out Mac Hughes. Vince Whaley. How about no? Fishburne. N. Roy. McGravy. What do we got for you? 12? 11. 2 more. We'll build you 2 more. And I'm not going to save McGravy. I will do Victor Perez, though, with Vegas and Griffin. I'm going to kick out Vegas. Woodland is not showing up at all, by the way, which is sad. No. I'm going to kick out Roy. I want to see some difference. Lowry, Berger, Mitchell, Hoagie, Monacero. Oh my god, like that's extremely volatile, but I love it. I'm here for it. Cam Young, Echevarria, Jesper Svensson, and Rio Hisatsune. Yeah, we'll do that one. That was a good one to end on. Oh, no. You don't want to do that. All right. Let me find. What's the next one we got? Are we done? Did I get everybody? Bill Hour goes, Sung J M, Benny Ann, Ben Griffin, Michael Kim, Harry Hall, Chris Ventura. Is this a lineup of yours? Let me put it in the... We'll take a look and we'll analyze. Harry Hall. Oh, Michael Kim, Harry Hall. Chris Ventura, right? Chris Ventura at 6,900, right? Take a look. Anybody new in the chat? If you've not hit the like button, do so. We get 8 more likes, and I will gift out 5 YouTube memberships. This is pretty solid. Sung J, Benny Ann, Ben Griffin. Okay, so it's 50,000, using 50,000 of the salary, which is absolutely fine. We are a little overloaded on last year 5s, which is fine. We would never have came across, like, we would never have built this lineup because it is outside of the parameters right here, but we can break rules. And same here, we don't have enough last week's 6s, which is, again, that's fine. We're good here. Good everywhere else. More than good here. Good here. Looks like we're good here as well. Perfect there. We're good, minus just the 2 buckets, minus the 2 parameters. Last week's 6s and last year 5s. One too many last year 5s and 1 not enough last week's 6s. But that's fine. Can we try Berger Gerard? By the way, did I miss anybody? Did anyone put in a lineup that I just missed? I've scrolled my chat a few times and we had Mr. Awaken Up, and I don't see anybody that came after him. Thought I did. I thought there was somebody that came in. I think I got everybody. All right, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Whoever is in the chat and I didn't get to your lineup, you let me know. And I will build you some lineups. I'm scared to jump on this Michael Kim run now. Yeah, I would be too. Michael Kim. Michael Kim. Terrible form at the Honda Classic, by the way. Cut, 57th cut. Let's take a look. What has he been up to lately? Last year? Last few finishes, 13th, 13th, 2nd. Missed cut, 43rd, missed cut, 11th, 12th, 30th. Yeah, he's been playing some really good golf recently. Like, this is Michael Kim-esque right here. So it's bent grass, Bermuda, Hoa, Bermuda, bent grass, T5, Paspalum, actually Bermuda, right? Bermuda and Paspalum? I can't remember. This would be Bermuda and maybe an overseed. Bermuda. Okay, so it's a hodgepodge of sorts. Let's see here. Driving accuracy, 69% at Mexico Open, which is large. It's heavy. That's, I mean, it's large fairways. Green and reg is good, and that driving accuracy is fine. Anything over 50% with him, I'm okay with, because if you look at some of these down here, not so good. You know what's funny is I made a mention of his driving at the Black Desert Championship, and he drove it 78% accuracy, but he found himself in trouble a lot. So he either hit the fairway or he put himself in the lava. Okay. So you want to do Gerard and Berger? Sure. Let's do a couple of those. Otherwise, I might just I might actually end the stream early. I wasn't planning on going super late. I was pretty tired before joining the stream. I'm actually fine now, so no worries there. I just Gerard. But I will stay on as long as you guys want. We just need some stuff to talk about. Can you do 3 more? Yeah, absolutely. This is a perfect time for anybody who's already had lineups built. If you want to, you know, put more golfers in the chat, certainly. We can just theory craft from here. Right, the first lineup anchoring around Berger and Gerard, we get Henley, Vegas, Mac Hughes, and Kevin Roy. Obviously, I don't care for Kevin Roy, but there we have it. Last week we went longer than we have in a while. Yeah, I think it was like towards the end of the video, I started to kind of like do a deep dive or something like that and just try to figure out some things. Try to unlock some secrets. And I don't remember exactly, but I think the last hour was just me theory crafting or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if I've got that in me today. Berger, Pendrith, Cam Young. This is an extremely unique lineup from what we've already built tonight. Vegas, Gerard, and Fishburne. It's pretty solid. Grazerman, Novak, CT Pan. Okay. Trying to choose Spawn or Vegas. I'd go Vegas. Echevarria. We're going to kick out Kevin Roy. I can't. There's no. Hold on. Let me do kind of a deep dive, a quick deep dive on Roy, because I don't know, man. Oh wow, 17th, 18th, 45th, all this year, and a WD. The WD didn't even come with like a terrible stat profile. Like pretty much break even with ball striking. Short game was terrible, but that was all due to putting. But positive putting on Overseed and Pass Pal. Huh. Gosh, I can't stand Kevin Roy. Here we go. Here's a solid lineup. Berger, M, Horschel, Vegas, Harry Hall, Gerard. Yeah, I like that one. You went off about putting stats. Were you sure that wasn't in the member video? I usually like to save any of my gripes with the fantasy landscape for those videos, since they're behind a paywall. So if you want to hear me complain about certain things, you'd have to pay in order to see that. Berger, Pendrith, Horschel, Glover, Vegas, Gerard. Or if we get 8 more likes, which we've been stuck on 17 likes for a while, I'll give out YouTube memberships. Berger, Pendrith, Horschel, Glover, Vegas, Gerard. That one's solid. I like that one. I'll build one more and I'm gonna get to Byron's. Berger, Pendrith, Horschel, JJ Spawn, Vegas, and Gerard. Well, there's Vegas. I mean, there's both Spawn and Vegas, so maybe you don't have to choose between the two. All right. Oh, no worries, no worries. Ooh, I forgot the assassin. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. The assassin's down here with a very large metric next to his name. All right. Grazerman, Novak, and CT Pan. Sorry, I should say how Byron says it. Greaserman. Greaserman, Novak, CT Pan. All right, Byron. Here we go. Actually, just because you're in the chat. Jim's like, I'm out of here. I don't want to listen to this clown music. That's all you get, man. That's all I can handle. Pendrith, Minwoo, Grazerman, Novak, CT Pan, and Kevin Wah. Kevin Wah. You, sir?
You just made the list.
That's the second time tonight he's made the list. Hunt Harry Hall into the sun. End Minwoo. Oh yeah, that's right. You don't care for Minwoo. So Minwoo is a no, and Harry Hall is also a no. So they get one of these. Please, White Castle sliders, more like that. The chef. Pendrith, Straka, Grazerman, Nova. Okay, we're close. That's a lineup I think you can get behind. I'm going to kick out Mac Hughes, though. Don't feel like that's your guy. Johnny Vegas, McCarthy, Kashmir Keith, Grazerman, Novak, Vegas, and City Pan. We're going to kick out Vegas. Ooh, Nikolai Højgaard enters the mix with Pendrith, Mitchell, Grazerman, Novak. That seems like a very Byron lineup right there. Do we kick out Novak or do we kick out Højgaard? Oh. You know what I need to do? Oh, never mind. Novak was a guy that you... I'm sorry. Mitchell, Pendrith, or Højgaard. Who do you want kicked? Hughes has been my guy, and funnily enough, was the winner of the contest tonight. Most money returned in the last year across all betting markets. So does that mean... Oh, we're going to boot Keith Mitchell into the sun?
You just made the list.
Okay. Ooh. Shamo joins the mix. I like this lineup a lot. That's a pretty solid lineup. I haven't highlighted any lineup tonight, but we're gonna highlight that one lineup. I'm gonna kick Shamo out, and we're gonna see what else we can get. By the way, so many 7K golfers not being played. Woodland being one of them. Luke Clanton being another one of them. I don't really care for Norgard, but then there's Bud Cauley because of Gerard. You know what? Actually, who said it? Someone said they think a lot of ownership from Hodges is going to go to Gerard. It was Gerard and who? Someone said, what, Hosler? It was Gerard and somebody. I actually think it's going to go to Bud Cauley. He's been talked about a lot in the YouTube realm. Some of these other 7K golfers, I guess I don't. My OBS disconnected. I thought I lost the stream. Yeah, lots of 7K golfers that are interesting this week that the optimizer doesn't pick because it's too busy looking at Mackenzie Hughes. It's too busy, obviously, looking at Gerard, Ryan Gerard, and Harry Hall, and Johnny Vegas. So it's not getting to like people like Woodland and whatever. He said Hodge. Let's see. Also, dude, Seamus has an insane top 40 rate with 0 top 5s. Yeah, I've said this before. I think Seamus Power has a bad back. I mean, if you just watch him walk around on a golf course, like he just looks like he's laboring, trying to like, he's got this very upright posture. And when he walks, his shoulder blades are behind him. He just looks like a guy who's dealing with back issues. And I'm not saying like, well, I will say this. I think he's a really good golfer. And I think if he didn't have back issues, he'd probably find the top 5 more often. And just because he has these issues, and it also could be hearsay. I just notice when he's walking on the golf course, he either has just a funny walk, which is very possible, or he's walking to protect his back. Which is what it screams that when I watch him walk, that he just got a bad back. It's like he microdoses Viagra. Yeah. But I think he is a really good golfer. I just think he actually hits the injury bug a couple times. Agree on. Oh, you said Højgaard. Okay. Yeah. All right. What am I doing? We're building labs for Byron, and it's. Did we kick out? No, we did. We kicked out Shane. Henley, Grazerman, Novak, Harmon, Bezzy, and CT. There we go. Look at this. You probably don't like Harmon, which is absolutely the right feeling to have. So we'll kick him out. Endrith, McCarthy, Grazerman, Novak, CT Pan, and Jesper Svensson. That one's pretty solid too. I'm not a Denny guy. He said score.
We're gonna get paid to score.
Denny likes a tougher track. Yeah. I don't know if that gets overblown though. Like, I think Denny McCarthy is actually a really good golfer. He just suffers from a bit of the shorts. Like, he just doesn't hit the ball far. Although this driving distance isn't terrible. Not like super great. It's not terrible though. I think it's just everything to do with his approach game. Look at the off the tee numbers. That's so bad. Is that because of driving accuracy? It isn't. Oh, it is. It is. It's big by far because of driving accuracy. See, here's one thing. When it comes to these strokes gain stats, and I will have a video out on that very, very soon. Hey Byron, I've got a fun thing that I'm going to do. The lighting is wonderful right now. Makes me look like a ghost. I'm going to use PGA 2K25 to explain strokes gain stats, the nuances of everything. I'm going to use their course designer tool. I already have a golf course built. There's a couple fine-tuning things that I need to do, but I'm going to use that in combination with my strokes gain calculator to show you like the differences that happen with taking different routes on golf courses. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be awesome. Okay. Do you guys want to see that right now? I could probably put that on the screen if you wanted me to. I could give you a little preview of it, but it also could take down the stream because I have no idea what type of let me look at my system. Oh, you know what? I could do it actually. My GPU is not even going at all. No. Okay. You got it. No worries. Yeah, this driving accuracy stat, this negative off the tee. So if Denny would have been 80% as opposed to 48%, he probably would have been positive, but on the very low end of positive. Probably 0.05 or yeah, I mean, it would just been north of positive, and he probably would have won that event. Well, he wouldn't have won it. He'd have been up there. So that's always good to see. Like his iron game is on, it's in fuego, basically. So I really don't mind Denny McCarthy this week. Now that I look at that, it's pretty good. Polish it up nicely for us. Also, again, this tool is so sick, Darvo. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to figure out how to, here's my Power BI right now. I was working on this right before joining the stream. And I don't know. So I can't create a matrix for this round by round stuff. I'm probably going to put this behind a filter. And I'm going to clean this up. But this is the tool that I've been working on. And Byron, this is like the thing that you kind of have created also. So like if you wanted to see, let's just use Denny McCarthy for examples. Can I scroll over? Oh, I'm zoomed in too far. So if I were to like use Denny. And so like these will update up here. I'm looking at trying to make, you know, what their average round one score is, their low in round one, their high, their average, and then obviously you'd be able to tell all the stuff down here as what you can and can't do. But like if you wanted to see, okay, Denny McCarthy, what is his average finish or whatever when he's inside 10th place for round one? Yeah, that's what this stat over here is, a median. I do have that in this card right here is the median. I know you can't really see that. You'd have to zoom in really far, but this stat here is the median, and I probably would show that. But anyways, you can see like these filters here, you'd be able to use this with Showdown. And I'd also use other stats that would show like, there'd be slicers where you could be like, okay, what happens when Denny shoots something to par, like whatever to par for one of the rounds. You'd be able to see what his finish would be the next, like, oh, round 4 positions. I don't want that. That's stupid. Let's kick that out and put 10th after round 3. That's what these stats read. After round 3. When he's inside the top 10, he kind of backs up. And I should probably put average finishing position also somewhere on here. Anyways, I've been just testing out like how I want it to look. I'm using cards and not a lot of the other tools just because it looks better in my opinion. I'd rather have the customization to make all the different font changes and stuff for each one of these stats, but it is also very tedious and I haven't figured out. I really like this format right here. I like how this looks. It is different. I don't see it anywhere else. I'm probably gonna stick with that. But anyways, you'd be able to come in here and after any round, after round 3 finish, you know, again, if Denny were inside the top 10, how does he end up? You know, and then you'd be able to see round 3 position. Okay, he was 4th at the Travelers in 2023 and he finished 7th. You know, but he shot a 67 in round 4, which is doesn't sound terrible. We don't know what that is round to par unless you know what the Travelers Championship is. Yeah, this will be sweet. Tools in the future, for the future. I am constantly working on this stuff. Constantly. And I know you are too, Byron. Median versus average, yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Vegas over Nap now because the optimizer is Vegas. Yeah, optimizer's never wrong. Okay. Dude, I am now on paternity leave for the next 2 months. So you got a lot of tools to build, hey? I bet you will too. Okay. So I'm basically just trying to keep my head above water content. So does the wife go back to work then? I can't remember. Was she a teacher? I'm trying to remember if you told me and what you told me. Okay. Okay. You're solely responsible for. All right. That does change things. That changes things. She goes back to work tomorrow. Is she excited? Or is she like, because moms can vary. Some moms are just like, I can't wait for the break, and some moms are like, I don't want to leave my kid. Like they're just like super sad that they gotta spend time away from their child. Oh, yeah. It's very interesting, the game of life and how people react to certain things. Like I never knew that about moms that have to go back to work, that it like fills them with dread a lot. Most of them, I think most of them, not all. Some are like thankful for the reprieve. But yeah, there's nothing like that bond between mom and child. Henley, Grazerman, Novak, Taylor Moore. Okay, Byron, this is more of your lineup right here. I like the fact that Henley shows up. That's a really good lineup. 10-8-8. All right. Any of you guys want to do anything in particular? Do we want to build different lineups? Do we want to cover other things? Do we want to talk about other things? Do we want to talk about tools that we wish we could build? Let me know. But is excited to get back to society. Dude, and teachers only get 6 weeks maternity leave. Really? Damn. What, we did 6 unpaid to make it 3 months. Oof. How nice was it down there, Byron? It was 51 degrees in Minneapolis. 51. How much rider did the optimizer pick? 0. I think, well, maybe 1. I don't really remember. Sam. Riders on the storm. 0. You know what, okay, I'll build, I'm really curious. Let's see if I can build like 2 more good ones. I think I'm gonna kick out Bezzy. This is one of those things that you consciously think of, you know, like Byron being a South African. I build a lineup that has a South African in it, and I'm just like, this is the best lineup for you, Byron. It never works out. This is a good lineup. Penrith, McCarthy, Grazerman, Novak, CT Pan, and Isaiah Salinda. Volatile, but really good. What stat would you say is the most important stat for courses with water? It was 60 degrees today. It was probably like a 10-degree difference between you and me. I'll always remember that because my hometown, there's a 10-degree difference from up there versus Minneapolis. Ryder has played well here, and he was in the bottom bucket. Russell Henley, Daniel Berger, Sepp Straka, Putnam, Rosner, Chad Ramey. Ooh. Ramius. 55 tomorrow here in Ohio. I'm getting on the course. Hey. Oh, no. I'll be so busy tomorrow. I have to go into the office, and then I play pickleball between 6 and 8, and then I come back and I stream at 9. But the driving ranges are open here. I cannot wait to fucking smack some balls. Apologize for the language that people don't like to hear, but oh, I'm excited. And it's going to be like high 40s and 50s for at least 5 of the next 7 days. I'm super excited. Should I take a shot on Simpson? Webb? Yeah. Hey, if you're building 100 lineups, I got no issue playing 1 or 2 lineups with Webb in it. Phil, do you want me to put that? Yeah, I'll hold on. Let me do this really quick. I don't want Max McGravy. I'm going to keep calling him McGravy. It's a better name than McGreevy. I've determined. We're not doing Vince Whaley. Nat Gendet. There we go. Anything's better when we end on Manacero, especially with Sung JM in there. Okay, that's cool. All right, Byron. I'm going to put that lineup in that Phil has and just see what it looks like. So we went with Henley, Daniel Bergerson, Sepper Straka. Ooh, we're going real stars and scrubs. Putnam, Roser, and Ramey. Putnam. We'll take a look. It breaks. Why does it break? Oh, I put a no. Which is a bad sign that it's not fitting the. So this works here. This is perfect here. Course history 3. We're light on course history 3. 2 to 4. Recent form 2. We got 2 there. We're good here. I don't really care about salaries that much, honest. Like picking, like you need to pick one. I don't think it matters that much. Everything else looks good. Let me see if I kick him out. If we build, oh, it's gonna pick a 7K golfer. Never mind. We'll do that, and I mean we're right at 50,000, so. If I put 0 and I do this, let's see. Can we build one? No. Nope. Not without leaving a lot of money on the table. Okay. All right. So if I'm building a lineup, and this is probably going to be, I'll save this for tomorrow. I think there's a bunch of options, a bunch of things I'm going to do. What I don't like is the fact that we didn't play any Luke Clanton tonight, but honestly, Razorman is probably a more favorite play of mine. And then obviously Danny Berger is also in the same group. So it's really different. It's really difficult to get to Clanton but it is possible Berger and Grazerman will be very popular. And so too would Clanton, but you know, when it comes to us fading golfers, we will go by the Marquee Tee Times. And since these three golfers are in the same Marquee Tee Time, I want to try it out with Clanton. I really like Clanton, the idea of Clanton this week. I do like Denny McCarthy this week as well. I think just starting those two and just seeing what happens. I don't really care. I guess Gerard can show up. So be it. And then I would just go from here. So I don't want Vegas in my lineup. Like I will have some Vegas. We already built so many lineups tonight that I don't. And I also don't want Pendrith in my lineup. These are just my first feels of the week. Sung Jae I'm okay with. I'm also okay with Cam Young, believe it or not. But I don't want Kevin Roy and I don't want Mac Hughes. I'm also thinking about locking in Woodland just to see what that would look like. Yeah, so a lineup like this is pretty sexy to me. But let's see. I want to lock in Woodland. He's in group 2 and I do not have anyone saved in group 2. So this is perfect. So we get Sung Jae, McCarthy, Novak, Clanton, Woodland, and Gerard. So a lineup like that to me is extremely attractive. I'm going to kick out Novak. I do like Novak this week, but I just know if I kick him out, I can get a little different. Gary's going to get the full swing bump this week. They show him a lot in season 3. Is Lowry playing TGL this week? Positive or negative? I'm not sure. I don't keep up with much TGL. I mean, I follow as much as I can, like on the Twitter, and anything like listening to PGA Tour radio. But outside of that, I don't really do anything. Damon is a name I haven't heard. When I create my model, it is the same model every single week. I don't change anything. So there's no manipulation that I do with that, but I also don't care to play Joel Damon this week. For those that want to play him, more power to you. It's just not me, not my style. I don't want Davis Thompson either. Not a huge fan of Davis Thompson this week. McCarthy, Mitchell, yeah, I'm not going to do Rogers. That's too much play. He's a California kid. I don't want to play him in Florida. I also don't want to play Michael Kim. Okay, so this lineup right here is a perfect, like, contrarian lineup. I actually like it a lot. McCarthy, Mitchell, Spieth, Clanton, Woodland, and Bezzy. Not something I would have said last year or the year before. Then it breaks. So I imagine this has more to do with Woodland because Woodland's in the same group as Lowry. And group 4, I don't know why it's not picking Henley. Might be because I have a lot of AM golfers. This lineup is pretty solid too. It has Ben Griffin, who's been playing a lot, but I do like him on Bermuda. We didn't break it. I thought we were going to. Okay, so we get a 998-776. I don't hate that. I don't know why it won't pick Henley. It must, like, Gerard must be just that much of a value that it has to pick Gerard. Because that's what the optimizer does. It looks for the best value and it always plays the best value. Yeah, I don't want Harry Hall in these lineups and I don't want Harmon in these lineups either. AJ, was that from a lineup that I created for you? The Henley, Grazerman, Novak, Glover, Ryder, Gerard lineup? I just want 1 week where all 6 make the cut. Henley, McCarthy, Horschel, Clanton, Bezzy, and Mac Meisner. I don't mind that. Actually, gonna kick out Bezzy. McCarthy, Mitchell, Horschel, Spawn. I don't want Spawn. Yeah, this is a week that the optimizer really, really likes balanced builds. Very rarely do we see that because we see a big like difference between the top end guys and the mid-range guys. And like some of these mid-range guys, like look at this. I had to boost Berger's score to get up to 1008. Vegas is already at 1000. Horschel's at 1000. Gerard down here's at 1031, by the way, 1031, just below Pendrith. And then I've got 977 with Mac Hughes, 947 with Echeverria. Harry Hall has 980. Like normally what we would see is Scotty Scheffler up here at 1300. That's what you normally see. It's 1300, and these guys all down here would be like 800. No. They'd probably be somewhere between 800 and 900. Some would range in the 1000, and they would probably be selected more often than not. But more of these guys would be like 11, 1200, and then again, Sky Scheffler would be 1300. Just makes lineup building so weird this week, and this is a sexy lineup on the screen. It's a really sexy lineup. We get Lucas and Luke, younger and older. Let's kick out Cashmere. That's the lineup I made earlier today. Thoughts? Okay. I believe 4 of them are in Marquee Tee Times. All right, I'll check. I'll take a look. There we go. Lowry, McCarthy, Glover, Clanton, Taylor Moore, and EVR. Sure. I'm not a big believer in Taylor Moore. I think he sprays the ball quite a bit. Could be wrong. Sung Jae, McCarthy, Kitayama. Okay, yeah, I could do that one too. I will kick out Glover just to make things different. I have my 7K golfer. I don't need another one. Bud Cauley. There we go. Sure. That's my first Bud Cauley lineup of the night. Adam Schenk. I'm there for it. And this has Kitayama in it. Like, these are just different lineups that I don't think are going to be very owned. There's Jake Knapp and Echeverria. I don't like the 2 price tags together. Adam Svensson, that's fine. Sure. I'm gonna kick out Kitayama. I want to stress out the optimizer. Build me something I've not seen yet. Ben Silverman and Shamo. Yep. I'm cool with that. Give me some more Lowry though. I want to see Lowry in this lineup. Relo, I don't care for, and I don't care for Pavon. And I do like Riley this week. I like Riley going forward, not this week, going forward. Mullinex, yeah. Really forcing those 9K golfers in here. I think this is probably, yeah, one more. Okay. I'm over it. I will build more lineups tomorrow night. So I'll put yours in the League Razorman. Oh, Novak Glover. Ryder and Gerard. Look at that. It actually put Gary Woodland in there. I didn't like, I don't know what price tag Ryder's at. I was just hoping it was going to show me, but it put in Gary Woodland, and I really like that lineup with Woodland in there. So you're going to leave $400 on the table? Just, I think that's fine. If you really like Ryder, I think that's fine. Henley, Grazerman, Novak, Glover, Gerard, and Ryder. So right away, we're missing a last year 5. A guy who missed the cut last week, or last year, I mean. This is all good. This is good. This is good. We're missing a strokes gained 3 golfer, which is, it's fine. And this is good, and this is good. Lots of AM golfers. 4 of them, yep, 4 of them were in the Marquee Tee Times, and then it breaks. So it's Woodland. Woodland is your missing piece. That might be because there's too many, just a lot of AM golfers. Let's take a look. Nope, still breaks. Okay. Woodland is the glue. He's the one that puts it all together. Solid. Okay. Maybe that's your key this week. All right, we got anything else? I think I'm gonna call her quits. What is up with this light? It's so stupid. I just gotta tone it down. Anything else, ladies and germs? Justin, you are welcome, sir. I have Woodland FOMO. So do I. I do too. Just a reminder, I will be live tomorrow night for YouTube members only. If you are interested, here, let me, I always forget to say this. So the white tier membership on YouTube is $4.99. $4.99. If you are interested in becoming a monthly member at SweetSpotDFS.com, so this lovely website right here, if you are interested in you know, paying for a monthly membership on this website, whether you think it's worth it right now or not, I mean, I'm constantly updating and building more and more tools to add to this website. I will always, and this will be for as long as I know, I'm not going to say forever because things change, but I don't want you spending more than $20 a month on anything that's SweetSpot DFS related. So if you sign up, well, first of all, if you're a YouTube member, you will automatically get $5 off. It has to be a white tier and up. So the $4.99 and up. If you were to go here and sign up for the monthly subscription, which is $19.96 a month, I will give you a promo code if you are a YouTube member, just so you know. So then it would be $15.96 monthly versus, or I suppose whatever the difference between the YouTube and this would be. I have no idea why I have 1996. I think it's just because I like the number 1996, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, you will always get $5 off. So it's just an added value, an added bonus. I can't knock off, like, I can't, if you sign up here, I can't give you anything off on YouTube. Can't do it. It is the end of the month. and I have free YouTube memberships. We didn't reach the goal of getting 25 likes, which is fine. But I can gift 5 more for this month, and so we will do that. Oh, Joanne got one. There we go. The Jungle Gym. So anyways, yeah. That's what I have for the week. I don't have anything else to talk about, I don't think. I'm drawing a blank. So I'm gonna take off. Hope you guys have a good night. If you want to join me tomorrow night, become a YouTube member, and we'll go from there. So yeah. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.